Let's begin by taking a breath together. A slow, gentle inhaling and an even softer exhale. You've arrived here for a reason. Whether it's the weight of uncertainty, the stress of holding everything together, or the quiet ache of exhaustion, know that you are not alone. In this space, you are safe. In this moment, there is nothing you need to fix, no puzzle to solve. This is time set aside for you to listen, to soften, and to simply be. For centuries, Buddhist teachings have gently guided seekers toward a path of inner stillness. At the heart of those teachings lies a profound truth. Peace doesn't come from controlling everything around us. It comes from learning to release what we cannot control. And that lesson, while simple in words, is one of the hardest to live. But tonight, as you listen, you're not being asked to master anything, only to be present, to allow, to let go, bit by bit. Letting go does not mean giving up. It doesn't mean you stop caring. Instead, it means you learn to stop gripping so tightly. Imagine holding a handful of sand. Clench your fist, and the grains slip through your fingers. But open your hand, and they rest gently in your palm. This is the essence of non-attachment. It's not rejection, it's acceptance. It's making peace with impermanence. You may have heard the phrase, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. That wisdom comes from the Buddha himself. What we suffer from most is not the reality of life, but our resistance to it. We try to push away discomfort, try to predict the future, try to force outcomes. And in doing so, we exhaust ourselves. We lose sleep, we lose presence, we lose ourselves. Right now, let the sound of these words be your companion, not your guide, not your teacher, just a voice walking beside you. Let the rhythm of your breath sync with the rhythm of this moment. Inhale gently, exhale softly. You are doing enough. This journey will unfold slowly, like a leaf opening to sunlight. You don't need to rush it. Over the next few hours, we will explore how to soften the grip, how to quiet the mind, how to rest deeply in the knowing that life moves with or without our control. And that's not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Think of the trees. They don't cling to their leaves when autumn comes. They let them fall, knowing new ones will grow in spring. There is wisdom in surrender. There is strength in stillness. There is healing in rest. So tonight, whether you fall asleep during this narration or stay gently aware throughout, trust that the words will reach your heart. Your body may rest, your mind may settle, your spirit may soften. You are allowed to let go, not forever, just for now. As we begin, remember nothing needs to happen. You don't have to get it right. You don't need to understand every word. Just allow, just listen, just be. Let's take a moment to explore how this journey will unfold. Knowing where we're going helps ease the mind, invites calm, and builds trust in the process. What you'll hear over the next several hours has been carefully designed, not to lecture or instruct, but to gently guide. These teachings are not rigid lessons. They are like soft ripples on a still lake, each one expanding your awareness, your breath, your peace. The flow of this narration is meant to mirror the rhythm of the natural world. It opens slowly, inviting your awareness inward, like dawn light spilling through a forest, gently brushing over the tops of leaves. Nothing is rushed, nothing is forced, just a gradual return to stillness. We'll begin with the roots, fundamental Buddhist insights about the human condition, the nature of suffering, and our instinct to control. These aren't abstract theories. They are reflections of the human experience, drawn from over 2,000 years of practice and observation. They speak directly to your heart, to the parts of you that crave certainty, that tighten with fear, that strive so hard to keep things together. Then, step by step, we'll begin to uncoil, to soften. You'll hear teachings about impermanence, about letting go of the mental habits that keep you stuck in patterns of worry or self-judgment. These aren't ideas to memorize. They're invitations to feel, to to notice how your body reacts when you hear them. Perhaps a loosening in the shoulders, a sigh you didn't realize you were holding, a sense that maybe, just maybe, you don't have to do it all. After grounding in wisdom, we'll move into gentle reflections, guided visualizations, meditations, and calming imagery. These aren't exercises in effort, they're practices in allowing. Like watching the sky shift colors as evening turns to night, like floating on calm water. These reflections are woven with silence, space, and breath, giving your nervous system permission to rest. Stories will be shared, ancient parables passed down from monks and sages. Their simplicity is powerful. In just a few words, they illuminate something deep. They speak in symbols, bamboo bending in the wind, a robe laid down by a river, a quiet meeting under a Bodhi tree. These stories don't require analysis. Let them land. Let them stir your imagination. Let them settle into your heart. As the journey deepens, we turn toward the night. Sleep practices will emerge like lanterns in the dark. Soft, steady, warm. There will be long, slow breathing, affirmations, silence. Imagery designed to soothe your body and quiet your thoughts. These teachings understand that sleep cannot be forced, but you can welcome it. You can prepare a place for it to arrive. And sometimes just knowing that you are safe, that you are not alone, is enough to let the mind drift into rest. And finally, as we reach the end of this path, we'll circle back to stillness, back to simplicity, a return to presence, to breath, to being, a reminder that everything you need is already here. That control was never the goal, and that peace is possible, not by grasping, but by releasing. This is not a straight line, it's a spiral inward toward yourself. If you fall asleep before the end, that's beautiful. If you stay awake and alert, that's beautiful too. There's no right way to listen. The teachings will meet you where you are. All you have to do is stay, breathe in, breathe out. Let's begin. There is a foundation beneath every path of practice, a quiet ground on which we walk, even when we don't realize it. And in Buddhist teaching, that ground begins with understanding the core causes of our inner struggle. So often, we try to fix things on the surface, our jobs, relationships, even the way we speak to ourselves. But underneath all of that, there is a deeper truth, a place where suffering begins, a place where it can also begin to dissolve. Buddhism teaches that suffering arises from three main forces: craving, aversion, and delusion. Craving is that tight feeling of, I need this to feel okay. Aversion is the pushing away of what we don't want, pain, discomfort, failure. And delusion is the confusion that clouds our ability to see things as they are. These are not flaws in character. They are simply natural habits of the mind. And in recognizing them, gently we begin the process of transformation. Now pause for a moment. Reflect on a time, maybe today, maybe long ago, when something didn't go your way. Maybe it was a conversation that left you unsettled, or a plan that unraveled. Can you notice what arose inside you? Was it a desire to control? An urge to escape? That flicker of heat behind the ribs when things slip out of your hands? This is where the work begins, not by fixing, but by noticing. Craving often shows up as that inner voice that says, I'll be happy when I get the job, when they finally understand me, when everything feels certain. It whispers promises of peace, just one step ahead, but it never stops, because craving is insatiable. The more we feed it, the more it grows. And soon we're caught in an endless cycle, chasing, reaching, never arriving. Aversion, on the other hand, tells us what to avoid. It stiffens our body, it narrows our breath. It says, not this, anything but this. Whether it's a difficult emotion, an unexpected change, or even just silence, we try to push it away. But like a beach ball held underwater, it always resurfaces. The more we resist, the stronger it becomes. And then there's delusion, the quietest of the three, but perhaps the most pervasive. Delusion isn't loud. It doesn't shout. Instead, it softly clouds our vision. It makes us believe that things will last forever, that we are separate from others, that if we just work hard enough, we can control it all. But this is illusion. Life is change. Everything is connected. Control is not the same as care. These three forces, craving, aversion, and delusion, form what the Buddha called the roots of suffering. And like roots, they go deep. They wrap around our habits, our expectations, our identities. But once seen, they can be loosened. Once acknowledged, they begin to let go of us. Letting go doesn't mean turning away. It means turning toward these patterns with honesty and compassion, seeing them clearly, without judgment. It means saying to yourself, here is craving again. Or, I see this aversion. I feel it in my chest. It's in that seeing that freedom begins. You don't have to uproot everything overnight. Even the smallest moments of awareness are powerful, like catching a glimpse of sunlight through the clouds, like noticing a moment of stillness between thoughts. Each breath is a chance to return. Each exhale, a tiny letting go. So if you find yourself craving certainty, or pushing away discomfort, or caught in confusion, pause, take one breath, place a hand on your heart if that feels comforting, and say gently, this too belongs. This too is part of the path. Remember, you are not broken. These are not signs of failure. They are signs of being human. And the path of letting go begins right where you are, with exactly what you feel. The more we bring awareness to these roots, the more space we create around them. And in that space, we find choice, we find ease, we find, perhaps for the first time in a long time, the permission to rest. Breathe in gently, breathe out slowly. You are already on the path. There's a lesson in every falling leaf, in every ripple across still water, in every breath that comes and goes without us needing to hold it. That lesson is impermanence. In Buddhism, impermanence, anicca, is one of the most central and liberating insights. Everything changes, nothing stays the same. It might sound simple, almost obvious, but truly feeling this truth in your bones changes the way you experience life. We often suffer because we expect things to last. We hold on tightly to moments of happiness, trying to preserve them. And we brace against pain, convinced it will stay forever. But both pleasure and pain are just passing weather. And when we begin to see this clearly, we no longer need to resist so much. We learn to ride the waves instead of drowning in them. Think about the sky. It doesn't cling to the clouds. It doesn't panic when a storm rolls in. The sky remains open, spacious and calm, no matter what passes through it. You too have that inner sky, that part of you that can observe life as it unfolds without needing to control every shift. And the more you trust in impermanence, the more you begin to loosen your grip on things that were never yours to hold. Maybe there's something right now in your life that feels stuck, a tension that won't ease, a situation that refuses to go the way you planned. And in response, you might be tightening, mentally, emotionally, physically. It's what we all do. But what if you took one step back from that? What if you allowed yourself to say, this is not forever. Even this will change. You might notice the change in your body. The shoulders soften, the jaw releases, the breath flows a little easier. Because when we stop fighting change, we return to our natural state, a state of presence. Impermanence is not something to fear. It's the very reason we can heal. The reason sadness doesn't last forever. The reason joy can be born in you. It means that even the deepest pain has an endpoint. Even the darkest night gives way to morning. And even in your hardest seasons, the wind is already shifting. Many of us confuse control with safety. We think, if I can just keep everything in place, then I'll be okay. But the cost of that illusion is high. It means constant vigilance, constant tension, and it never quite delivers the peace we're chasing. Impermanence frees us from that. It reminds us that our job is not to make things last. It's to meet them fully while they're here, You don't have to force this truth. You don't have to repeat it like a mantra until it becomes real. Instead, look for it in your everyday life. Watch the way sunlight moves across a wall throughout the day. Notice how your thoughts come and go like birds in flight. Observe how each breath is a little different from the one before it. Let these small things teach you. Let them whisper that everything you experience, no matter how solid it seems, is already changing. And that's not a problem. That's the beauty of being alive. When we embrace impermanence, we begin to hold life more gently. We stop gripping. We stop bracing. We learn to love more freely, knowing that nothing is guaranteed. We savor the sweetness of now, rather than reaching for something more. We trust in the unfolding, even when we don't know where it's leading. Take a slow breath in and let it out long and soft. Feel that. That was a moment, and now it's gone. A new one begins. Let's pause here and consider something we all do, often without realizing it. We hold on, not just to the good things, but to ideas, identities, outcomes, and expectations. We cling to the way we believe things should be, and in doing so, we tighten. We contract around experiences, around people, around ourselves. This clinging is subtle. Sometimes it's a thought that loops, trying to find the perfect solution. Sometimes it's a feeling we're not ready to let go of, a grudge, a hope, a regret. And sometimes it's in the body itself, a jaw held firm, a belly drawn in, a breath that doesn't fully release. These are the quiet signs of our resistance to change, to uncertainty, to loss of control. But what happens when we begin to notice this grasping? Not with judgment, not to scold ourselves, but with kindness, with the gentle curiosity of someone watching a bird land softly on a branch. We begin to see where we've been holding too tightly, and in that recognition, space opens. To let go of clinging is not to stop caring. It's not indifference. It's actually a deeper form of care, one rooted in respect, in awareness, in love that doesn't try to possess. It's the difference between holding a flower tightly in your fist and resting it gently in your open palm. One crushes the thing it wants, the other lets it live. Sometimes we cling because we're afraid of what we'll feel if we loosen our grip, afraid of who we'll be without the story we've told ourselves, afraid of the silence that might follow. But in truth, it's in the letting go that we discover we're not falling, we're being held by the moment, held by presence, held by life itself. Picture this. You're walking through a forest carrying a heavy backpack. Over time, you've forgotten how heavy it is. You've grown used to the weight. But one day, someone gently suggests you set it down, even just for a moment. You're reluctant at first. It's familiar, it's yours. But eventually, you take it off, and suddenly, you feel lighter, freer. You breathe differently. You walk differently. And you wonder how long you've been carrying it without question. That's what letting go of clinging can feel like. A surprising lightness, a return to ease. And it begins with just noticing. When do you feel tight? When do you feel anxious or rigid? What are you trying to control? And what would it feel like, just for a breath, to stop trying? You don't have to release everything at once. Even loosening your grip by a fraction changes the experience. Maybe that means taking a deep breath before reacting, or pausing before sending that message, or saying to yourself, "It's okay if this doesn't go the way I planned." These small acts are powerful. They send a message to your nervous system: we are safe, even here. We don't have to hold so tight. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean giving up. It means allowing what is here to be here, and what wants to go to go. It means trusting that life, in its mystery and movement, knows how to unfold, even if we don't yet understand how. As you listen to these words, you might feel something stir in you, a memory, a relationship, a belief, something you've held for a long time. If it feels right, bring it to mind now. Hold it gently in your awareness, like holding a small object in your hands. Notice its texture, its weight. And then, without forcing anything, ask yourself, is it time to set this down? Is it safe just for now to loosen my grip? Maybe the answer is no. That's okay. Maybe the answer is not yet. That's okay too. But the question itself plants a seed. And in time, when the moment is ready, the letting go will happen naturally. You don't have to rush. There's no hurry here. Let each breath remind you that life flows forward, with or without our control. And sometimes, the most courageous thing we can do is to let it. Take a long breath in. And now let it go. Control. It's something we're taught to seek, praised for maintaining, and often terrified to lose. From childhood, we're encouraged to plan ahead, to stay in charge, to make things happen. And while a certain amount of structure and foresight is undeniably useful, there's a fine line, one we all cross at times, between healthy responsibility and the exhausting illusion of control. The truth is, much of life lies outside our command. The weather, other people's feelings, the timing of events. Even our own thoughts and emotions often arise without invitation, shifting and surging like waves on a wide ocean. And yet, when things begin to slip from our grip, our instinct is to tighten. We try harder, we plan more precisely, we hold on more fiercely. But in doing so, we rarely find peace. Instead, we find fatigue, tension, and a growing sense of disconnection. Let's take a breath here, inhale gently, and let it go slowly. Think about a recent moment when something didn't go the way you wanted. Maybe it was small, a conversation that veered off course, a delay that disrupted your day, or maybe it was something larger, a change in plans, an unexpected outcome, a loss you couldn't prevent. How did you respond? Did your body tense? Did your mind begin to race with strategies, with what-ifs, with ways to fix or reverse what had already happened? This is a very human response, and there's nothing wrong with it. But what if, in those moments, we practice something different? What if instead of scrambling to control, we softened into trust? Trust not in outcomes, but in our own capacity to meet life as it is, moment by moment, breath by breath. There's a quiet kind of power in surrender, not the giving up kind of surrender, but the sacred kind. The kind that says, I don't have to hold this all alone. The kind that lets the river flow without needing to redirect its course. The kind that allows us to participate in life fully and wholeheartedly without needing to dominate it. In Buddhist thought, this is where mindfulness and right effort come together. We still act, we still care, we still engage, but we do so without clinging to specific outcomes. We bring our presence to the process, and then we release the results. It's like planting a seed. You water it, you nurture it, but you cannot force it to bloom. You do your part, and then you trust the unfolding. This is the path of wise effort, doing what you can, where you are with what you have, without the tightness of grasping or the anxiety of control. It's not easy. It goes against much of what we've been taught. But over time, it brings a spaciousness to your life. It opens you to grace. And here's the beautiful paradox. When we stop trying to control everything, we often show up more fully, with less fear, with more compassion. We're no longer so bound by expectations that we miss what's actually happening. We begin to notice more, feel more, respond more clearly. We become steadier even in chaos because we're no longer fighting the flow. Imagine standing in a river. If you try to hold the water in your hands, it slips through your fingers. But if you stand still with your hands open, you can feel the current move around you. You're not stopping it, but you're part of it. You're grounded in it. You're allowing it to be what it is. That's what this teaching invites, not passivity, but participation without attachment. Not apathy, but alignment. Not giving up, but letting go of the illusion that you are in charge of everything. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to say, "This is not mine to carry." That doesn't make you careless, it makes you wise. So next time you find yourself reaching for control, take a breath. Notice the tightness. Place a hand over your heart. Ask yourself gently, what can I truly influence here? And what can I release? Maybe the only thing you can control is how you show up, your presence, your tone, your breath, and that's enough. Breathe in. Feel the space of this moment. Breathe out. Let go of what isn't yours. You are here. And that is more than enough. There's a quiet strength in awareness. A steadiness that doesn't come from having all the answers, but from simply being present with what is. This is the gift of mindfulness, not as a trend, not as a technique to master, but as a way of meeting life directly, gently, without filters, without needing to control every moment that arises. Mindfulness, in its simplest form, is the practice of paying attention, noticing what's happening in your body, your thoughts, your emotions, becoming aware of the sounds around you, the rhythm of your breath, the sensations moving through you, and doing all of this without judgment, without needing things to be different than they are. Imagine sitting by a window and watching the weather roll in. Sunlight, wind, clouds, rain. You don't try to stop the rain or hold onto the sun. You simply observe, you witness, you stay present. This is mindfulness. The window is your awareness. The weather is your experience. When we cultivate this quality of attention, we begin to see how often we move through life on autopilot, how frequently we react out of habit rather than choice. A tense moment arises and we clench. A thought appears and we believe it. An emotion stirs and we act on it without pausing. But with mindfulness, we create space. We place a moment of stillness between the spark and the flame. In that space, there is choice. The choice to breathe instead of brace, to observe rather than react, to soften instead of defend. This is how mindfulness becomes a tool, not to fix your life, but to live it more fully, more awake, more compassionately. Let's bring this into something simple. Right now, take a slow, conscious breath. Feel the air enter your nostrils. Notice the rise of your chest or belly. And as you exhale, follow the sensation of release. That's it. That's mindfulness. And in that one breath, you may have felt something shift. A settling, a return. Mindfulness also teaches us to witness our attempts to control. When something feels uncertain or overwhelming, we often grasp for solutions, we analyze, we worry, we plan. But these mental habits are often fueled not by clarity, but by fear. Mindfulness helps us see that. Not to make the fear go away, but to meet it with gentleness. You might notice, for example, a thought like, "I can't let this happen," or "I need this to go my way." And in the light of awareness, you can pause. You can say to yourself, "Hey, here is the mind trying to protect me. Here is the fear of uncertainty." And then you breathe, you soften. You allow the thought to pass like a cloud in the sky. Over time, this practice becomes less about effort and more about relationship. You're building a relationship with your experience, with your emotions, with your thoughts. You're learning to trust that you don't need to control everything in order to be okay. That presence itself is enough. There's also great humility in mindfulness. It reminds us that we don't always know what's best, that things may unfold in ways we didn't expect, and that's part of the mystery. The practice is not about becoming immune to life, but becoming more fully alive in it. Let this be an invitation, not to add one more task to your list, but to drop beneath the list entirely, to remember that your breath is always with you, that awareness is never far, that peace is found not in perfection, but in presence. As you move through the rest of this day, or drift further into rest tonight, let mindfulness be your companion. Let it walk beside you like a quiet friend who says nothing, but who listens deeply, who reminds you to return to your breath, to your body, to this moment. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to chase anything. All you have to do is notice. Take another breath now, slow, easy, unforced. Notice how it feels. Notice what's present. And now, gently let it go. Sometimes, the deepest wisdom arrives not in grand revelations, but in soft, quiet shifts. A pause, a sigh. A single moment when we realize we've been gripping too tightly, trying to hold together something that was never meant to stay exactly the same. And in that moment, we feel the quiet ache of the myth of certainty. This is a story we all live by at some point. The belief that if we just plan well enough, prepare thoroughly enough, anticipate every possibility, we'll be safe, we'll be okay, we'll have control. But the truth is, certainty doesn't exist in the way we think it does. Life is too fluid, too complex, too beautifully unpredictable for that. You may notice how often we look to the future for reassurance. We try to map it out, step by step, outcome by outcome. But the future is always a few steps ahead, always a little out of reach. And the more we chase it, the more anxious we feel. Because deep down, we know we can't guarantee what will happen. We can only be present with what is happening now. That doesn't mean we stop planning altogether. It's not about abandoning structure or responsibility. It's about loosening the grip. Recognizing the difference between thoughtful preparation and obsessive control. One is grounded. The other is fear disguised as effort. You've likely had moments where something didn't go as expected, and yet it worked out in ways you couldn't have imagined. Or perhaps you've clung to a plan so tightly that it became a source of stress instead of support. These experiences remind us that life moves in rhythms we don't always understand. And sometimes, the most generous thing we can do is to trust that movement, even when we don't know where it's leading. There's an old image in Buddhist thought, the image of trying to trap the wind in a box. No matter how carefully you construct the walls, the wind slips through. It was never meant to be held. In the same way, certainty is not something we can contain. It's not something we can build walls around. It's something we learn to make peace with not having. So instead of chasing certainty, what if we cultivated clarity? Not about the future, but about how we're showing up now. Are we being kind? Are we being honest? Are we being present? These are questions that anchor us, that help us live from our values rather than from our fears. And when uncertainty arises, as it always does, we can meet it not with panic, but with breath, with a softening, with the reminder that we have met countless unknowns before, and we are still here. Think of all the things in your life that were once uncertain and are now part of your story. Friends you hadn't met yet, places you hadn't seen, moments you hadn't lived. At one point, all of these were unknown, and now they are yours. This doesn't mean we stop feeling afraid. Fear is part of the human experience, but we can learn not to follow it blindly. We can recognize it, thank it for trying to protect us, and then choose something different, like stillness, like trust, like presence. So the next time you catch yourself spiraling into what if thinking, pause, bring your attention to something real. Your breath, the feeling of your feet on the ground, the sound of the room around you. Anchor yourself in what is, because what is always more solid than what might be. You don't have to predict the future. You don't have to solve everything tonight. All you have to do is return to this breath, this moment, this gentle knowing uncertainty is not your enemy. It is the nature of life, and you are allowed to rest within it. Take a breath now, deep and steady, and exhale into the space of not knowing. Let's return to the present, to this breath, to this moment that holds everything you need. There's a subtle shift that begins to happen when we engage in mindfulness practice consistently. We start to notice how much of our inner world is shaped not by what's happening around us, but by how we relate to it. And one of the most transformative insights we can gain is this: we are not our thoughts. we are the ones who notice them. The mind is incredibly active. It produces thoughts constantly, memories, judgments, stories, plans, some of them useful, some repetitive, some kind, and some harsh. This mental activity is normal. It's what minds do. But when we forget that we have a choice in how we engage with our thoughts, we become entangled in them. We believe everything we think, and that belief can lead us into suffering. Mindfulness offers another way, a way of relating to thoughts not as absolute truths, but as passing events in consciousness. Like clouds drifting across the sky, you can watch them come and go without needing to follow every one, without needing to act on them or even believe them. Try it now. Notice the next thought that arises. Don't push it away. Just see it. Name it, maybe planning, worrying, remembering, and then let it go. No need to argue with it. No need to hold on to it. Just allow it to pass like a breeze through an open window. This practice becomes especially helpful when we're caught in mental patterns related to control. The inner monologue that says, "This shouldn't be happening," or "I have to figure this out right now," can create tension in the body, tightness in the breath, and a sense of urgency that pulls us out of presence. But with awareness, we can recognize these thoughts as attempts by the mind to create safety. They're trying to help in their own way, and still, we don't have to believe them. We can simply notice and choose a different response. This noticing is a powerful form of freedom. It gives us space. Instead of being swept away by every story our mind tells, we can ask, is this thought helpful? Is it kind? Is it true? And if the answer is no, we can gently return to the breath, to the body, to now. It's not about stopping the thoughts. It's about changing our relationship with them. Over time, as we continue to practice, we begin to sense the difference between reacting out of habit and responding from presence. We notice the early signs of reactivity, the quickening heartbeat, the narrowing of attention, the urge to fix or control. And in those moments, we have a choice to pause, to breathe, to soften. This shift, small as it may seem, has enormous effects. It brings more ease into our relationships, more clarity into our decisions, more kindness into the way we speak to ourselves. Think of it this way. If your mind is like a busy street, your awareness is the person sitting on a bench by the sidewalk. Cars, your thoughts, drive by all day long. Some are loud, some are fast, some are slow, but you don't have to chase after them. You can sit, breathe, and watch them come and go. That stillness, that steady presence is always available to you, even in the busiest moments, even in the deepest storms, especially then. And so, when the urge to control arises again, as it will, meet it with kindness. Say to yourself, this is just a thought. This is just the mind doing what it does. And then come back to the breath, to the body, to now. You are not your thoughts. You are the space they move through. And that space is vast, it is calm, it is whole. Let yourself rest in that knowing. Take a deep breath in. Let it go slowly, and feel the quiet return. There's a quiet, often overlooked truth within the teachings of Buddhism, one that offers profound freedom once we begin to understand it. It is the idea that we can let go of ownership, not in the material sense alone, but even more deeply, in the way we hold our experiences, our identities, our emotions, our very thoughts. Non-attachment doesn't mean becoming cold or distant. It doesn't mean shutting ourselves off from the world, from love, or from beauty. In fact, it's the opposite. Non-attachment invites us to engage fully, with open hearts, with clear minds, with deep presence, while also understanding that we do not possess the things we touch. We do not own the people we love, the moments we cherish, or the outcomes we strive for. Imagine holding a bird in your hands. If you close your fingers tightly, trying to keep it from flying away, you might harm it or frighten it into escaping. But if you hold it gently, with open hands, it may stay. Even if it flies on good wings. This is the spirit of non-attachment. We live in a culture that often praises ownership. My success, my relationship, my truth, my path. And there is some beauty in that. Some strength in knowing ourselves and claiming our lives with intention. But suffering begins when mine becomes a cage, when we begin to believe that we are what we have, or that we must cling to what we love in order to keep it. Non-attachment doesn't mean withdrawing from the world. It means participating in it more freely. It allows us to experience things deeply without becoming imprisoned by them. We can enjoy beauty without fearing its loss. We can love without trying to control. We can work and give and dream without basing our worth on the result. This way of living creates space. Space to breathe. Space to respond rather than react. Space to allow others to be who they are, and yourself to grow and change. And the heart of non-attachment is trust. A quiet trust in the unfolding of life. A belief, tested through presence, that we are held even when things fall away. That who we are is not tied to any one title, role, or circumstance. We are more than our positions, more than our achievements, more than our stories. Take a moment now to reflect on something you may be holding too tightly. It might be a hope, a relationship, a version of yourself you feel pressure to maintain. Ask gently, without judgment, what it would feel like to hold that thing with a little more lightness. Not to push it away, not to give it up, just to let go of the grip. What would it feel like if you didn't have to define yourself by it? If you could still care, still show up fully, without being consumed? This is the grace of non-attachment. It's not about caring less, it's about caring wisely. About letting things flow through us rather than sticking to us. Like a stream that nourishes the land as it moves, but does not try to stop and own each tree, each stone. And yes, this path takes practice. It takes noticing when we are clinging and asking ourselves why. Are we afraid of change? Are we seeking security in something that can't ultimately provide it? Are we trying to control the uncontrollable? These are not easy questions, but in their asking, we begin to loosen the knots. You are not your possessions. You are not your titles. You are not your past, your presence, your breath. You are the awareness behind the changing forms. So walk gently, open your hands, let life come and go as it always does. Take a breath in and let it move through you. Acceptance. It's a word we often hear, but one we rarely slow down enough to truly understand. In the context of Buddhist teachings, acceptance is not resignation. It's not giving up or turning away. It's turning toward. It's opening ourselves to reality as it is, without trying to twist it into something else, without needing it to meet our expectations before we agree to feel peace. It's easy to accept the pleasant moments, the kindness of a friend, a warm meal, the comfort of soft light in the evening. But true acceptance invites us into something deeper. It asks us to meet discomfort with the same openness, to acknowledge fear, pain, sadness, confusion, not as problems to fix, but as guests we can welcome with gentle awareness. That might feel like a big ask, especially when life hurts, when things feel out of our control. But consider this: resistance often multiplies our pain. A difficult experience arises, and then we add another layer. This shouldn't be happening. That extra layer, that internal struggle, is what turns pain into suffering. Acceptance doesn't remove the challenge, but it softens our relationship to it. It's like standing in the rain. If you fight it, if you try to outrun it or deny that you're wet, you become more uncomfortable. But if you simply let it fall, if you stop resisting, you might notice something else: the coolness of the droplets, the rhythm of sound, even a strange kind of peace. This isn't about passivity. Acceptance doesn't mean we stop taking action where it's needed. It means we begin with truth, with clarity, with a willingness to see things as they are before deciding how to respond. We're no longer caught in the storm of denial or blame. We're standing in reality, and from there, we can move wisely. Let yourself pause now, breathe deeply, and ask, is there something in your life you've been pushing against? Something you've been hoping would change before you allowed yourself to rest? What would it feel like to whisper to that part of your life, I see you, you're here, and for now, I'm not going to fight you. That one gesture can bring an immense shift. It creates space between you and the struggle. It allows compassion to emerge, and when compassion enters, healing can begin. There's a phrase in some meditation circles, let everything be just as it is. At first, this might sound too permissive, almost careless. But when you sit with it, you realize its depth. It's not saying everything is perfect. It's saying everything is here. And by acknowledging it, we reclaim our inner balance. We regain our ability to see clearly, act wisely, and respond from a place of grounded calm. Acceptance is a daily practice, sometimes a moment-to-moment one. You might feel it rise, and then notice resistance returning. That's okay. Each time you remember, you're strengthening the muscle. You're reminding yourself that peace doesn't come from changing everything outside of you. It comes from how you meet what's already here. In time, you may begin to accept even your own resistance. Even the days when nothing feels okay, you stop needing to be somewhere else. You stop needing to feel something else. And in that quiet surrender, something softens. Something begins to rest. Take another breath now. Feel the breath enter, not forced, not controlled. And as you breathe out, feel what it's like to let it all be, just for this moment, just as it is. There's a particular beauty in balance. Not the kind of balance that's rigid or perfectly symmetrical, but the kind that feels steady even in motion. That's what equanimity offers us. A deep inner stability that remains calm in the face of both joy and sorrow, gain and loss, praise and blame. Equanimity is not about detaching from life or numbing yourself to its richness. On the contrary, it's about being so fully present that you're no longer pushed and pulled by every wave. You feel everything, but without being swept away. You remain rooted, like a great tree that bends in the wind, but does not break. This state of mind may seem unreachable at times, especially when life throws us off course, when emotions are strong, when plans unravel, when expectations fall short. And yet, within those very moments is the perfect ground for cultivating equanimity. It starts not by suppressing feeling, but by allowing the full experience of life without clinging to any part of it. The teachings describe this balance as a mind like a mountain. Imagine sitting on that mountain. Wind rushes around you, clouds come and go, storms pass, sunlight returns, but through it all the mountain remains unshaken, present, still. Equanimity is not cold, it is not indifferent. It is a warm spaciousness that allows everything to exist without needing to control it. It says, this belongs to. It welcomes pleasure and pain alike, not because they are the same, but because they are both part of being human. In practical life, equanimity shows up in quiet ways. It might mean listening to someone without trying to fix them, or accepting criticism without collapsing into shame, or letting someone walk their own path, even when we want to protect them from suffering. It's in these moments that we practice, not by doing something big or dramatic, but by staying present and steady when our habits urge us to cling, to resist, or to control. Let's take a breath together, slowly in, gently out. Can you sense where you might be leaning right now? Toward a desire, away from a discomfort. Equanimity invites us to return to center, not to erase desire or eliminate discomfort, but to hold them with equal kindness, to say, yes, I feel this and I can stay. There's a teaching in the Buddha's words called the 8 worldly winds: pleasure and pain, gain and loss, praise and blame, fame and disrepute. These are the natural currents of life. They blow through all of us. And equanimity allows us to stand in the center of those winds, not untouched, but unmoved in our essence. This doesn't mean we don't care. In fact, it allows us to care more wisely, to act from clarity instead of reactivity, to love without clinging, to grieve without drowning, to give without needing to be needed. Over time, equanimity becomes a sanctuary, a refuge that lives within you, no matter what's happening outside of you. And like any quality of the heart, it grows with attention, with practice, with presence. So when you feel yourself leaning forward into desire, backward into aversion, pause, breathe. Ask gently, can I meet this moment with balance? Not perfectly, not forever. Just now. This practice isn't about becoming some idealized version of calm. It's about being fully human, fully alive, and rooted in something deeper than circumstance. A kind of inner dignity that says, whatever comes, I can meet it. You can return to this space as often as you need. A breath, a pause, a soft reminder that peace is not found in controlling what happens, but in how you relate to it. Take another breath now. Feel your body soften. Feel the earth beneath you. You are steady. You are here. And everything that arises can be held. There's a gentle wisdom in knowing where your efforts end and where surrender begins. In Buddhist thought, this insight finds a home in the teaching of karma, of cause and effect, and the practice of right effort. These are not abstract philosophies. They are deeply practical, lived expressions of balance, of learning how to act with integrity, while also learning to release our attachment to results. Karma is often misunderstood. It's not a system of reward and punishment. It doesn't mean that every good deed will bring a prize, or that every challenge is a consequence. Rather, it's about the natural unfolding of actions and their effects. Every thought, every word, every choice plants a seed, and over time, those seeds blossom into the landscape of our lives. Right effort is about the energy we bring to this planting. It's the middle path between overexertion and laziness, between striving and apathy. It's a kind of wise energy, a way of engaging with life that is steady, honest, and compassionate. And it asks something subtle of us, to do what we can and then let go. Imagine tending a garden. You prepare the soil, plant the seeds, water the ground, and pull the weeds. You do all of this with care, but you cannot force the flowers to bloom. You cannot demand the sun to rise faster or the rain to fall more perfectly. Your role is to participate, to give what is yours to give, and then to step back and trust. This is the heart of right effort, showing up fully without falling into over-control, engaging deeply without collapsing into despair if things don't go your way. It is effort without obsession, intention without rigidity. And when you begin to live this way, a spaciousness opens. You no longer tie your worth to outcomes. You no longer need every moment to validate your efforts. You begin to measure your life not by success, but by sincerity. Not by how often things go right, but by how honestly you show up. Let this be a comfort. You are not responsible for everything. You are not meant to carry the whole world. You are responsible for your part, for your words, your presence, your choices. That is enough. More than enough. Right effort also asks us to care for our energy, to notice when we're pushing beyond our limits, when we're fueled by fear instead of clarity. It invites us to act from a place of inner steadiness rather than urgency. This means resting when we need to rest, saying no when something costs too much, letting go of goals that no longer serve our deepest truth. And it means remembering that every effort made from the heart, no matter how small, is a part of the path. A kind word, a single breath of awareness, a gentle pause before reacting. These are not insignificant. They shape your path just as surely as the big decisions do. You might think of this teaching as a compass, not a map that shows you exactly where you'll end up, but a way to move through the world with integrity, with kindness, with peace. So tonight or tomorrow, or whenever the world asks you to act, ask yourself, is this effort aligned with my heart? Am I pushing, or am I moving with presence? Am I clinging to a result, or am I offering what I can and letting life respond in its own way? The more we live from this place, the less we suffer, not because everything becomes easy, but because we stop fighting with what we can't control. We trust that our sincere efforts matter, and we allow the rest to unfold in its own time, its own rhythm, its own mystery. Take a breath now. Let it be easy. Let it be enough. You are doing your part, and that is all you ever need to do. In this journey of letting go, there's one path that stands quietly in the background, unassuming, yet profoundly transformative. It is the path of the middle way, not too tight, not too loose, not a path of extremes, but one of balance and integration. A life lived with simplicity, wisdom, and deep presence. The Buddha discovered the middle way after years of experimenting with both indulgence and self-denial. He had known a life of luxury, then chose a life of extreme asceticism, starving the body, pushing the limits of endurance. And what he found was this: neither path brought true liberation, neither led to peace. True freedom lay somewhere in between. And so, the middle way was born, not as a compromise, but as a wise recognition of what brings lasting well-being. It's about honoring your needs without being ruled by them. It's about discipline without harshness, compassion without indulgence, clarity without rigidity. It's about listening to your body, to your heart, to the moment, and adjusting as needed. This is not always easy. The mind often seeks absolutes. It wants clear answers, firm lines, guarantees. But life is not that clean. It's nuanced. It asks for subtlety. And the middle way invites us to meet that nuance with grace. Think about the times when you've pushed too hard, working through exhaustion, saying yes when your body begged for rest, forcing a decision when silence would have served you better, or the times when you gave up too soon, avoided what was uncomfortable, or let yourself drift without direction. These are the poles we swing between. The middle way asks us to return, to pause, to feel. It's not about getting it perfect. It's about cultivating awareness, recognizing when you're leaning too far in one direction and gently coming back to center. That center won't look the same for everyone, and it won't always look the same for you. Some days, balance might mean doing less. Other days, it means stepping forward when you feel afraid. The wisdom is in listening and responding. Even with the practice of letting go, there's a middle way. We don't throw everything out and walk away from life. We don't detach from feeling or renounce the world completely. Nor do we grip every outcome or micromanage our path. We engage fully, but with openness, with surrender, with trust. You might begin to sense this in your own life. Maybe there's a place where you're holding on too tightly, or perhaps you're avoiding something that needs your attention. Ask yourself gently, what would the middle way look like here? What would balance feel like in this moment? And know that your answers will change. That's part of the beauty. The middle way is alive. It responds. It moves with you. Let this way of being become your foundation, not a rule to follow, but a rhythm to listen for. A quiet music under the noise of the world. You'll find it in the steadiness of your breath, in the softening of your body, in the moments when you feel both grounded and free. And when you forget, which we all do, just come back. That's the practice. Come back to the breath. Come back to now. Come back to this middle place between effort and ease. Take a breath in. Feel the space around the breath. And let it go gently. You're walking the path, and every step is enough. Let's begin to move inward now, not with effort, but with ease. You've been absorbing teachings, listening deeply, opening to new ways of being. And now it's time to turn even more gently towards stillness, toward presence, toward the soft, quiet practices that allow these insights to settle not just in your mind, but in your body. where true transformation takes root. Let's begin with the body, the home you carry with you always. It speaks in whispers. Tightness here, softness there, warmth, chill, sensation. When we bring awareness to the body, we bring the wandering mind back to the present. And in this moment, nothing needs to be achieved. There's nowhere to get to. You are simply invited to arrive, here now. Start by finding a position that feels supportive. Lying down or seated, whatever allows your body to feel safe and comfortable. Let the ground hold your weight. Let gravity do the work. There's no need to hold yourself up. Let yourself be held. Bring your attention to your feet. Feel where they touch the surface beneath you. Notice the temperature, the sense of contact. There's nothing you need to change. Just observe. Slowly, move your awareness up to your ankles, your lower legs, your knees. Scan with curiosity, not to fix but to notice. As you continue up to your thighs, hips, and pelvis, notice where there's tension. You're not trying to release it, just letting it be seen. Sometimes simple awareness is enough to bring ease. Sometimes it's not, and either way it's okay. Now gently bring your attention to your belly. Let it be soft, even if just a little. Notice how it rises and falls with your breath. There's nothing to force. Let the breath come and go on its own. Let yourself be breathed. Shift now to your chest. Feel the movement here, the rhythm of the breath, maybe even the beat of your heart. Let yourself feel what it's like to be alive in this body, right now, without needing to do anything about it. Continue this gentle journey upward, through the shoulders. Notice how they feel. Are they holding weight they don't need to? If so, invite them to drop just a little. And if they don't, that's okay too. This is not about performance. It's about presence. Bring your awareness to your arms, your elbows, your wrists, your hands. Feel the tingling aliveness in your fingers, the soft hum of sensation. Then move gently to your neck, your jaw, your face. So many expressions, so many words held here. See if your jaw might loosen. Let the muscles around your eyes soften. Let your forehead smooth now. Take in the whole body at once. Imagine it as one field of sensation, a living, breathing landscape, and you are here within it, completely present, completely whole. This body awareness practice is a way of coming home, a way of anchoring yourself when the mind spins stories or when emotions rise like waves. You can return to it anytime. It's always here, always available. Feel again the ground beneath you. Let it remind you that you are supported, that you don't need to hold it all together, that you can soften and still be strong. Take one more deep breath in through the nose and exhale gently through the mouth. This moment is enough. You are enough. Now let's invite the imagination to take part. You've already connected with your body, the breath, and the present moment. From here, we move gently into a visualization, a soft unfolding of the inner landscape, not to escape reality, but to meet it differently, to create space, to shift the texture of the mind from tension to ease, from grasping to allowing. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a river. It's not a dramatic river, not wild or loud. It flows steadily, silently. Its waters are clear, catching the light as they move. You're safe here. There's no rush, no noise, no task waiting. Just the sound of water lapping softly against smooth stones. You stand barefoot on the riverbank. The ground is cool beneath your feet, firm but giving. As you breathe, notice how the air feels here, fresh and open. You take a slow step forward and kneel beside the water. The current moves past with quiet purpose, not urgent, not slow, it simply flows. Now, imagine in your hands you hold a small bowl. It's simple, smooth, and light. In this bowl are a few stones. Each one represents something you've been holding. A thought, a tension, a story, a need to control. One by one, you lift them out. You don't need to name them out loud. Just feel the shape of each one in your palm. When you're ready, gently place the first stone into the water. Watch how the current receives it, without judgment, without resistance. It disappears beneath the surface and is carried away beyond sight. You don't need to follow it. You don't need to understand where it goes. You simply let it leave. Breathe here. Feel the release. Pick up the next stone. Maybe this one is heavier. Maybe your fingers linger on it a little longer. That's okay. When it's time, place it in the water too. Watch the ripples move outward. Watch them fade. And once more, breathe. Let the remaining stones go one by one, each a letting go, each a surrender. You may feel a shift, or you may feel nothing. Both are welcome. There's no right way to let go, only a willingness to soften, to trust that you don't have to carry it all. Now your bowl is empty. You place it gently by your side and sit fully on the riverbank. You listen, you breathe. You feel the stillness that comes not from making the river stop, but from letting it move without needing to grasp what passes. This is what it means to let go, not once, not forever, but moment by moment, allowing things to come, allowing them to leave, trusting that what is yours will stay, trusting that what must go will go. In time you stand again. You walk slowly along the water's edge. You feel lighter, not because the river took anything from you, but because you allowed it to. You carry nothing now but your breath, your awareness, and a quiet knowing that you are held. Take a slow breath in through your nose and exhale softly through your mouth. You are free to return to this river, to this release, anytime. It is always here, just like your breath, just like this moment. Now let your awareness rise from the riverbank and drift upward, gently, like a leaf floating on a breeze. Let yourself imagine the wide open sky above you, not just a blue canvas, but a place of vast, infinite space. Here, in this openness, we invite a new kind of practice, seeing your thoughts as clouds, light, passing, without weight unless you decide to chase after them. Let your body remain still, grounded, easy. Let the breath remain soft. You're not going anywhere. This is an inward journey now, into the field of awareness itself. Begin by noticing the next thought that appears in your mind. It could be anything, a sentence, a word, a memory, a question. See if you can catch it as it arrives. And instead of following it, just label it gently, thinking. That's all. A quiet mental whisper. Thinking, then let it float on. Watch how that thought begins to fade. Maybe another follows. And again, just observe. You don't have to fix it or finish it. No need to judge it or engage. Just see it. Name it. Let it drift, like clouds across the sky. Some thoughts might feel heavy. You might notice thoughts that pull you toward the past, that try to rewrite something, replay something, understand it all over again. Others might pull you toward the future, urging you to plan, to prepare, to brace. You don't need to push any of them away. Just see them as clouds, each one rising from somewhere deep, moving across the landscape of your mind, then dissolving into space. If your attention gets caught, if you follow one thought into a story, a feeling, a swirl of emotion, that's okay, it's completely human. The moment you notice you've been swept away is the moment you return, gently, kindly, with no need for frustration or effort. This is not about stopping the thoughts. That's not necessary. It's about creating space around them. Seeing that you are not the cloud, you are the sky. Sometimes the sky is full, grey, restless, that's okay. And sometimes it's clear and blue, that's okay too. The sky never tries to hold on to one kind of weather. It never needs to feel a certain way to remain itself. It just is. Let yourself rest in that same knowing. Thoughts may arise, thoughts may pass, and you remain calm, open, present. This practice helps us in moments of reactivity, when emotions surge and the urge to control tightens in the chest, when the mind races with what-if scenarios. By seeing thoughts as clouds, we remember they're not permanent. We remember we don't have to follow every one. We begin to reclaim our peace, not by resisting thought, but by relating to it differently. Let's try it again now. Allow the next thought to come. Whatever it is, let it arise. See it, name it, thinking, let it float on. Notice the space that remains after it goes. And again, a thought arises, you watch it, name it, let it go. Over and over, no pressure, no rush, just space, just presence, just you here in the sky of awareness. Take a slow breath in and release it with ease. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who sees. Now allow the sky to dissolve slowly as if evening were settling in. And in its place, imagine a wide, open field. The light is soft here. The air is still. And at the center of this quiet space rests a single empty bowl. It's made of smooth, worn stone, a little weathered by time, but beautiful in its simplicity. It holds nothing, yet its emptiness is not lacking. It's receptive, waiting, spacious. This is the next image to rest in, the bowl as a symbol for your mind, your heart, your inner life, open, quiet, and ready to receive what is truly needed rather than what is constantly craved. You move closer to this bowl, you sit before it, and you breathe. Each breath now becomes an offering, not of things or effort or outcomes, but of space. With every inhale you gather attention. With every exhale, you let go of what isn't needed. Thoughts may come, you let them pass. Sensations rise and fall, and through it all, the bowl remains open and still. In our daily lives, we often walk around full of plans, ideas, judgments, lists, full of the need to know, the urge to act, the habit of striving. And while these things can have their place, they leave little room for true wisdom to arrive, for peace to land, for healing to settle in. The empty bowl reminds us of the power of emptiness, of stillness, of waiting without grasping. You don't need to fill this moment with anything. You don't need to fix, adjust, improve. Just allow. Let the bowl stay empty. Let yourself be without intention for now. Feel the quiet this brings. This practice mirrors a central truth in Buddhist teachings, that we find fullness not by accumulation, but by release. The more we let go, the more space we create for grace, for insight, for peace that is not dependent on having or doing or knowing, but simply being. As you sit before the bowl, you may sense the temptation to place something in it, a goal, a thought, a hope. Notice that urge, and then see what it feels like to just wait, to remain receptive but not reaching. The bowl does not seek, it does not chase, it waits without anxiety for what is right to come, and what comes, comes gently, without force, maybe just the breath, maybe a sense of stillness, maybe a deepening of your own presence, and maybe nothing at all. That's still enough. The bowl doesn't measure value by how much it holds. Its power is in its capacity, in its readiness, in its rest. You too have that capacity, that space, that quiet readiness for life as it is. And when the world becomes loud again, and it will, you can return here, to this field, to this moment, and become the bowl once more, but open from trust. Take a long breath in. Feel the breath nourish the space inside. And as you breathe out, release even the breath itself. Let your body soften. Let your thoughts drift. Let the bowl remain. Ready, still, complete. Let the quiet deepen now. Like twilight stretching across a still lake. The mind may still flicker here and there, like fireflies blinking in and out. That's okay. Let them flicker. You don't need to chase them or hold them. We're entering a space of compassion now, a soft practice. Not toward others first, but toward yourself. So much of the energy we spend each day goes toward managing how we appear to others, how we perform, how we cope. We try to be good, be strong, be useful, be fine. Even when we're not, even when we're tired, even when there's something quietly unraveling inside. But this moment asks something different. It asks for kindness, not the kind you give out like candy to the world around you, but the kind you rarely turn inward. The kind that says, I see how hard this has been. I see the weight you've carried, and I won't turn away. Let's begin with the breath. Let it rise slowly and fall gently. Feel it cradle the space around your heart, noticing maybe that the chest tightens when we hold back emotion, when we hold in the truth of our struggle. This is where we build walls. But with each breath, you're inviting those walls to soften, just a little, just enough for warmth to enter. Picture someone you love, someone you'd never judge for being tired or overwhelmed or unsure, someone you would simply hold in their moment of need. That same kindness, it belongs to you too. Now repeat softly in your mind or aloud if it feels right. May I be gentle with myself. May I be patient with this moment. May I allow myself to rest. There's no rush, no finish line. Just this practice of being with yourself as you are. You don't need to earn peace. You don't need to deserve rest. You only need to allow it. Maybe right now you feel fine, maybe calm, maybe still, or maybe there's something unsettled inside you. A lingering doubt, a pain, a shadow that doesn't have a name. Whatever's here, don't push it away. Offer kindness to it, not because you want it to change, but because it exists, because it's part of your human experience, and everything human is worthy of compassion. If it helps, place a hand over your heart or somewhere else that feels comforting. Let the touch be gentle, reassuring, like saying to yourself, I'm here, I care, I'm not going anywhere. Another breath in, and a long, slow exhale. You might repeat these words again, or create your own phrases that feel nourishing. May I let go of what I can't control. May I soften the edges of today. May I find peace in just being. These are not affirmations of perfection. They're not promises. They're invitations. And they work not through repetition alone, but through feeling. Through allowing yourself to be touched by your own tenderness. Self-compassion is not indulgence. It's not weakness. It's the foundation of resilience. It's what allows you to keep going, not with force, but with care. It helps you recover, reconnect, begin again even when the world feels heavy. So whatever tomorrow brings, let it come. You're building the inner strength to meet it with grace. And for now, just this breath, just this softness, just this moment held in kindness. Take one more breath, let it be full, and then let it go, as gently as a whisper in the dark. Now let the stillness deepen. Let the body rest even more completely, the breath steady and slow. You've come far through teachings, through practice, through inner landscapes shaped by awareness and trust. Now we move into story, not for distraction, but for reflection, for resonance, for the quiet, knowing that comes when something ancient touches something true inside you. There is a parable often told in Buddhist tradition. It's called the story of the two arrows. Imagine this, you're walking through a forest, unaware, relaxed. Suddenly, without warning, you're struck by an arrow. The pain is sharp, immediate. This is the first arrow, pain that life brings. Something happens, something you couldn't prevent. This is inevitable, a part of being alive. But then, there's a second arrow. It's not shot from the outside, it's created in the mind. You start thinking, why did this happen to me? Or, this shouldn't have happened. Or, what if it never heals? The second arrow is self-inflicted. It's made of resistance, of judgment, of fear. And this arrow, while invisible, often causes far more suffering than the first. This story asks a quiet question. How many second arrows have you carried? How many times have you added pain to pain without meaning to? We all do it. A difficult moment arises, and instead of simply allowing ourselves to feel it and care for it, we react with tightness, with mental struggle, with stories. We believe the mind when it says we should have done better. We believe the fear when it says this will never pass. But the wisdom of this story is not about never feeling pain. It's about seeing clearly which part is pain and which part is optional suffering. And then making the soft but powerful choice to stop shooting the second arrow. The next time something hurts, emotionally, physically, even spiritually, try pausing, try breathing. Ask yourself gently, is this the first arrow or the second? And if it's the second, if it's the story or the judgment or the clenching, what happens if I don't pick it up? Let the moment be what it is. Meet it as if it were a friend who simply needs to be heard. Not analyzed, not explained, just seen. These teachings live not just in ideas, but in the body. When you recognize the second arrow, you might notice the shoulders drop, the jaw release, the breath deepen. That's the power of awareness, returning you to now. Not to bypass pain, but to relate to it differently. There's another layer to this story, one that invites compassion. Because when we see how often we've shot that second arrow, we might feel shame. But here's the truth. The second arrow is often fired because we're trying to protect ourselves. We think, if I prepare for the worst, it won't hurt as much. Or, if I criticize myself first, I'll beat others to it. This is the mind trying to help, in the only way it knows how. So when you see that second arrow, don't fight it. Don't add a third. Just acknowledge it. This is fear. This is protection. This is habit. And then breathe. The stories we carry are not flaws. They are attempts to cope, to make sense, to stay safe. But now, in this space, you're learning another way. A way of being with life that honors pain, but doesn't multiply it. That sees what's here and meets it with care. Take a breath now. Feel the strength in softness. Feel the choice you have to be kind, right here, in this very moment. You've just dropped a second arrow. And that too is freedom. Let the wisdom of the two arrows rest gently within you, like a stone settling at the bottom of a quiet pond. And now, from that stillness, a new image arises, a different kind of story. One that speaks of tools, and how to use them, and how to leave them behind when it's time. The Buddha once told the story of a man who needed to cross a wide, flowing river. There was no bridge, no ferry. So using branches, leaves, and rope, he builds a raft. It's not elegant, but it floats. Carefully, he uses the raft to cross the current. It keeps him safe, steady. It carries him. And once he reaches the far shore, he pauses. He looks down at the raft that served him so well. Then he says to himself, "This raft helped me. I wonder if I should carry it with me on my back, just in case I need it again." It sounds silly, doesn't it? The raft was never meant to be a burden. It was meant to serve a purpose, and then be left behind. This story is about more than just a raft. It's about the tools, beliefs, habits, and even identities that once helped us, but now weigh us down. It asks us to reflect gently. What am I still carrying that I no longer need? Maybe it's a pattern of thinking, a way you've protected yourself in the past. Maybe it's a story about who you have to be. Maybe it's the belief that you must always be strong, or always be right, or always be in control. At one point, these things helped you. They got you through something. They were your raft. But perhaps now they've become something else. Something heavy. Something that no longer fits the person you're becoming. Let's pause. Breathe. Bring to mind something in your life that once served you, but now feels like weight. You don't have to let it go right away. Just see it. Acknowledge it. Name it. Now imagine setting it down beside you, not rejecting it, not judging it, just recognizing its time has passed. You're on new ground now. This story reminds us that wisdom includes knowing when to hold on and when to release. It's not about abandoning everything. It's about discernment, about trust, about space. And sometimes what we're carrying isn't even ours. Maybe it's a belief passed down by others, a version of success we never truly questioned, a duty we didn't choose. We can thank those things for their place in our lives and still choose to set them down. There's no shame in having needed them. There's great courage in realizing you don't need them now. Imagine walking forward just a few steps without that old weight. How does the air feel on your skin? How does your breath move in your body? How might your heart feel knowing it can beat freely, no longer shaped by someone else's map? The raft taught you something, and now your feet are on dry land. The next step is yours. Let yourself feel the ground beneath you, solid, steady, supportive. Breathe in that freedom. And as you breathe out, let something go. Now breathe into the silence that follows the letting go. Let it open gently around you. Like a clearing in the forest after a long walk, you've laid something down. You're lighter now. And it's in this lightness that we find another story. One that's not about release alone, but about courage. The courage to meet what feels threatening, not with fear, but with presence. There is an old tale passed down through generations of monastics. In it, the Buddha is meditating beneath a tree, serene, calm, and still. And as he sits, Mara, the tempter, the force of distraction, fear, confusion. In stories, he often appears with an army, lances of doubt, arrows of desire, storms of anxiety. Mara is not evil in the way we often imagine. He is simply the embodiment of everything that keeps us from stillness, everything that whispers, "You're not enough. This is too hard. You need to be afraid." But on this day, as Mara approaches, the Buddha doesn't run. He doesn't fight. He sees Mara clearly and says, "I see you, Mara." Just that, 4 words. And then he invites Mara to sit. The Buddha offers him tea. This moment isn't about overcoming Mara through strength. It's about meeting fear with awareness, doubt with equanimity, confusion with clarity. The Buddha doesn't pretend Mara isn't real. He acknowledges him, and in doing so, he removes Mara's power. Because the truth is, what we resist tends to grow. What we avoid gains weight, but what we name with compassion begins to loosen its grip. What if you could do the same? What if the next time fear arose, or old patterns pulled at you, or the mind told its urgent stories, you simply paused, looked inward, and said, "I see you, Mara," not with contempt, not with panic, just with recognition. "You're here. I know this pattern. You're not who I am, but I'll sit with you." It's not always easy. Mara wears many disguises: self-doubt, perfectionism, shame, the compulsion to control, the itch of wanting to be liked, the urge to do more, be more, prove more. These visit all of us, but naming them gently gives us power, not to defeat them, but to stay centered even as they speak. Try it now. Think of a recurring challenge, an emotional wave that often knocks you off center. It could be anxiety or comparison, or the sharp sting of not feeling seen. Picture it, sense it in the body. Where does it live? And now, just acknowledge it. Say quietly, "I see you." Breathe. You are still here. This is the quiet strength of mindfulness. Not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of awareness in the midst of it. You can pour tea for your doubt. You can light a candle for your grief. You can make room at the table for the parts of you that still tremble. And you can do all this without collapsing. The Buddha didn't send Mara away. But eventually, having been seen, Mara always left on his own. Let that sink in. Let it soften something. You are not your fear. You are the one who sees. And that is more powerful than any army of doubt. Take a long breath in, deep and nourishing, and exhale into peace. You are safe. You are whole. You are enough. Now we enter a story with no conflict, no battle, no fear, just a robe, a quiet moment, and a simple choice that speaks to the heart of release. There was once a young monk who carried with him a robe made of fine cloth, clean, warm, carefully folded. It wasn't lavish by any means, but it was a gift from a teacher, and it had come to symbolize something sacred: comfort, protection, perhaps even identity. He kept it close, even in the summer heat, even as the sun pressed hard against his back. During long days of walking from village to village, the robe became a part of him, a reassurance, a familiar weight. One day, while traveling through the hills, the monk arrived at a quiet riverbank just before dusk. The air was soft, The wind carried no urgency. He felt drawn to the stillness, to the gentle movement of the water flowing downstream. He knelt, removed his sandals, and touched the river's edge. And there, in that silent moment, he looked down at the robe folded neatly beside him. For the first time, it felt heavy, not in cloth, but in meaning. He had outgrown its need without realizing it. It had comforted him. Yes, it had served him. But now it no longer felt like freedom. It felt like something he was carrying out of habit, a symbol of a self he no longer needed to preserve. And so, without drama, without ceremony, he lifted the robe, folded it one last time, and placed it gently on the riverbank. He didn't toss it into the water. He didn't burn it. He simply left it and walked on lighter than before. This story is not about renouncing the world or abandoning care. It's about noticing when something, once meaningful, once essential, has fulfilled its purpose, and then having the courage to put it down. What are you still carrying that no longer fits who you are now? Maybe it's an image of who you were supposed to be by now. Maybe it's an old goal once full of fire, now quietly faded. Maybe it's a pattern of proving yourself again and again, long after the need has passed. These things aren't wrong. They're not mistakes. They were robes once. Useful, holding you through seasons of becoming. But now, they may be weighing you more than they're holding you. Pause here. Close your eyes, if that feels safe. Picture your own version of that robe. Something symbolic, something you've carried. What would it feel like to place it gently on the riverbank? Not as rejection, but as reverence. Letting go doesn't always need to be dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, tender, almost imperceptible to the outside world. But you feel it. Like a breath you didn't know you were holding, finally released. And when you do let go, you don't lose yourself. You uncover more of yourself. The part that exists beyond roles, beyond symbols. The part that doesn't need to carry anything to be whole. As you sit with this, breathe. Let the breath rise like a river lifting a leaf. Let it fall like that same leaf drifting downstream. Let the robe stay behind, and step forward lighter, freer, quietly more yourself than ever before. Now let yourself picture something else. A single stalk of bamboo, tall and slender, rooted deeply in the earth. A storm has begun to stir. The winds are strong. The trees around it shake and groan. Branches strain, leaves scatter. The world bends under the pressure of the coming rain. And yet, the bamboo, it does not break. It sways, it yields, it moves with the storm. There's a lesson here, not just in resilience, but in surrender. Because strength doesn't always look like resistance. Sometimes, true strength lies in flexibility, in the ability to let go of rigidity, to bend without snapping, to trust the moment instead of bracing against it. We are taught, often without words, to hold ourselves together, to stay upright, no matter the pressure, to be unmoved, untouched. But the natural world shows us something different. That softness is not weakness. That motion is not instability. That allowing ourselves to feel and adapt is part of how we survive and even thrive. Think now of a time in your life when something didn't go the way you planned. Maybe a disappointment, a change you didn't choose, a conversation that turned unexpectedly. What did you do in that moment? Did you tense? Did you resist? Did you try to hold the shape of what had already been? And what might it have felt like to be more like the bamboo? To sway, to listen, to yield just enough. This doesn't mean giving in. It doesn't mean becoming passive. The bamboo isn't weak, it's rooted, grounded, but it doesn't fight the wind. It moves with it, trusting in its own flexibility, and so can you. Right now, bring your awareness into your body. Notice any places that feel tense or tight, not with judgment, but with curiosity. These are the places where you're bracing, maybe against an outcome, a feeling, a memory. See if you can soften just one of them. Not all of them, just one, like loosening a knot, slowly, breath by breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale and release a little of that tension. Maybe the shoulders drop, maybe the belly softens, maybe the jaw unclenches. These small shifts are how we become like the bamboo, resilient not in spite of softness, but because of it. In Buddhist thought, this is the wisdom of non-resistance. When we meet life with openness rather than armor, we're not giving up control. We're letting go of the illusion that we ever had it to begin with. And in doing so, we create space. Space for new insights, for unexpected outcomes, for peace. This is especially important in moments of uncertainty, when the wind is strong, when the storm doesn't make sense. The temptation is to brace, to fight, to control. But control only stiffens us, and what is stiff breaks. What is soft survives. So as you move forward, as you listen to the next breath, as you rest in this moment, remember the bamboo. You too are allowed to bend, to respond instead of resist, to move with what's here instead of battling what isn't. Feel your breath sway gently in and out. No effort, just rhythm, no resistance. Just trust. You are rooted. You are steady, and you can move with the wind. Let your breath steady itself again. Let your body settle in the stillness that follows insight. You've listened deeply, felt fully, rested in the quiet rhythm of surrender and strength. And now we begin to shift gently into a new season of this journey, from teachings and stories into direct care, into the space where rest and sleep are no longer ideas, but invitations already opening within you. You're preparing now, not to control sleep, not to make something happen, but to allow, to welcome rest as something that belongs to you, not as a reward, but as a birthright, a natural part of the cycle you're already part of. Start by noticing your environment. Let your senses stretch into the space around you. Is the room quiet? Is the air cool or warm against your skin? How does the blanket feel as it rests over your body? These are not distractions. They're the doorway into presence, into comfort, into home. There's no need to rush this. The transition into sleep is not a switch. It's a slow, downward spiral, a soft dimming of thought, a gentle releasing of effort, a returning to what's always known how to rest. Your body, your breath, your being. Let's take a few deeper breaths now. In through the nose, long and smooth, and then out through the mouth. Let that exhale feel like a settling, like something you've been holding finally setting down. Again, in and out, and one more. Let this breath feel like a sigh, a soft whisper of surrender. Now begin to bring your awareness to your breath, not to control it, but to follow it. Notice the inhale as it enters through your nose. Maybe you feel it cool at the nostrils or rising gently in the chest, and then follow it as it leaves, softening the body as it goes. Let the exhale feel longer than the inhale. Let it feel like a quiet wave pulling away from the shore. Each breath now invites you deeper into yourself, not into thought, not into doing, but into being. If a thought comes, let it come. Let it drift like smoke, like mist, like something that never needed your attention to begin with. You are not the thought. You are the breath watching it pass. You might imagine that with every exhale, a little more weight leaves your body. Not the heavy kind of weight, but the invisible kind. The mental load, the tension in your shoulders, the buzzing at the edges of your mind. Let it all release, breath by breath. You're not trying to sleep. You're allowing sleep to find you. It knows the way. You don't have to get everything right before you rest. You don't have to solve anything tonight. There is nothing to finish. There is nothing to fix. There is only this body in this moment, this breath in this silence, this heart softening now. You might imagine your body sinking just a little deeper into where you're lying. Let the surface beneath you rise to meet your weight. You're supported completely. There's nothing you have to hold up. And with each breath, imagine yourself drifting just a little further, a little slower, like a boat moving gently from the dock, carried by a current that asks nothing of you but trust. Sleep doesn't respond to force. It responds to invitation, to soft attention, to the quiet rhythm of letting go. So let go of the day, of the noise, of even this voice when it's time. You are safe now. You are enough now. You are free to rest. Now that you've begun to settle into this space of rest, let your breath become the anchor that guides you more deeply inward. You don't have to do anything to it. Just stay close to its rhythm, like following the tide in and out, again and again. This is the breath you were born with. This is the breath that has carried you through every moment of your life, even the ones you thought you wouldn't make it through. It knows how to hold you, and now it's leading you gently towards sleep. Imagine your breath as a soft wave washing over your body. With every inhale, it brings warmth and ease, and with every exhale, it carries tension away. Picture it beginning at the crown of your head, washing down through your scalp, your forehead. Let the muscles there soften. Let your eyes grow heavier, your jaw unclench. Let your tongue rest gently against the bottom of your mouth. Now feel the breath move down your neck, across your shoulders. Let it gather whatever you don't need, tightness, effort, thought, and take it away with the exhale. Let your shoulders drop just a little more. Let your arms feel loose, your hands completely at ease. With the next breath, allow the wave to move through your chest. Feel the rise and fall, natural, effortless. Your heart is beating quietly beneath it, doing its work without needing your attention. Let it be. Let it rest too. Now your belly. So often we hold tension here without realizing it. See if you can give it permission to soften. Let the breath reach it. Let it expand and release without restriction. Down through your hips, your legs, all the way into your knees and calves. Let the breath keep flowing, soothing, releasing, down into your ankles, your feet, all the way to your toes. Your whole body now held in a blanket of calm, cradled in this wave of breath that rises and falls like the ocean. You don't need to do anything. You are being breathed. You are being cared for. Let yourself be passive. Let yourself drift. If thoughts try to rise, let them come. Then watch them pass, like sea foam at the edge of the tide. They don't need your attention right now. They are not more important than your peace. You can return to them later, if they even return at all. This is your time now. This is your moment to be nothing more than present, not productive, not responsible, not defined by roles or tasks. Just here, just you, at rest. You might begin to notice a deepening quiet, not just in the room, but within yourself, as if some part of you has begun to let go of the day entirely. It doesn't need to be carried anymore. Let it fade into the background. You are safe. You are whole. You are free to drift. Let the breath continue to guide you, even as the edges of awareness begin to blur. You might still hear this voice, or it might become like a whisper behind a dream. Let that be okay. Let yourself slip beneath the surface, like sinking into warm water, weightless, slow, embraced. If sleep comes soon, welcome it. If it takes time, that's okay too. Rest is not only measured in minutes of sleep. It begins in stillness, in trust, in simply being with yourself in kindness. So take one last full breath for now. Let it rise and fall. Let the wave pull you gently into the darkness behind your eyelids, into quiet, into peace, into sleep. Now that your body has softened and your mind has begun to quiet, we stay here, right at the threshold between waking and sleep. This is a sacred space. Not quite day, not quite night. A space where awareness fades slowly into dream, and the boundaries between thought and stillness gently dissolve. Here, your breath continues its rhythm, easy and unhurried, guiding you deeper inward with every exhale. There's no need to chase sleep. It doesn't need to be captured. It comes naturally, like dusk comes to the sky, or waves roll to shore. What matters now is your willingness to rest in the unfolding, to trust that doing less will lead you further. So imagine, if you like, that you're lying beneath a night sky. Not a cold one, but warm, wide, and infinite. The stars are above you, scattered like soft points of light. You don't need to reach for them. Just let them be. Let them keep their distance while you remain cradled by the earth below. The ground is soft. It welcomes your weight. There's no pressure here, no expectations. You are allowed to simply be. The breeze is mild, brushing across your skin like a whisper. Everything is still. And now, perhaps you begin to notice a sense of spaciousness within you too. A gentle expansion, as if your thoughts have stopped pressing inward and are beginning to float outward, drifting farther and farther away until all that remains is breath. All that remains is now. Let your senses slowly fade. There's nothing you need to see. The darkness behind your eyes is full of calm. Let it deepen. There's nothing you need to hear. My voice will fade soon too. Even sound can rest. There's nothing to hold. Let your hands grow heavier. Let them melt into the surface beneath you. There's nothing to do. Let your mind drop the to-do list. The conversations, the remembering. Even your name can sleep. Even identity can pause. Here in this space, you are not defined by what you've done today. You are not defined by how productive you were, how kind you were, how strong or fragile or clear-minded you felt. All of that can dissolve now. What remains is something even more true, the essential you, the one who breathes, the one who rests, the one who is worthy of care. And now imagine, if it feels right, that your body is wrapped in a warm, weightless blanket of light, not bright, just soothing, like moonlight made physical. It covers you gently from head to toe, offering safety, offering rest, offering release. With each breath, let yourself sink just a little deeper, as if the surface you lie on were water and you are floating without effort, as if gravity has become a lullaby. If your mind begins to stir again, that's okay. Just notice it. Then return to your breath, or the stars, or the warmth. This moment doesn't ask for perfection. Only presence, only soft stillness. You are doing enough. You are enough. Let that truth settle in your chest like a gentle weight. Let it lull you. Let it become your final thought before sleep takes you. Now drift, now fade, now rest. Let yourself remain in this spacious quiet where nothing is asked of you. Here, in this soft unfolding of night, each breath becomes slower, deeper, more relaxed. The pace of your thoughts slows with it. Like leaves drifting across still water, they float gently across the surface of your awareness and then disappear. You're not following them now. You're not chasing answers or solving problems. You are simply being, and in this being, you begin to dissolve the distance between effort and ease. There's no separation, just breath, just stillness, just the steady rhythm of letting go. Let the quietness extend within, not as a void, but as a fullness, a richness of calm. You are not alone in this stillness. Countless others across time and place have entered this same depth of peace, through silence, through breath, through surrender. You are part of that lineage now, held in the same great pause that has comforted monks in ancient forests, wanderers beneath starlit skies, healers, poets, and seekers of all kinds. It is here you come home to what's real, what never needed to be earned. Let your breath find a gentle rhythm. Inhale softly, then exhale with a longer sigh. Let that exhale carry any lingering weight. If any part of your body is still holding on, even slightly, offer it permission to soften. Start with the forehead, then the corners of the eyes. Let your eyelids grow heavier. Let them rest the jaw. Loosen it. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. You don't need to speak. You don't need to respond. Let the words fall away too. The throat. Let the breath pass through it without obstruction, smooth and quiet, like wind moving through trees. Now your neck and shoulders. So often they carry what isn't yours. Worry, striving. Memories you haven't been able to put down. Let them drop. Let the shoulders sink with gravity. The arms, the hands, warm, open, no longer reaching. The chest rises and falls. Let the breath come from low within you, deep and wide, like the slow tide. The heart beneath it beats quietly, its rhythm steady, familiar. You are alive and safe. Bring your awareness down to your abdomen. Let it move freely with the breath. Let it release even more than you thought it could. You don't need to hold yourself in anymore. Let the body do what it knows. Let it be soft, hips heavy and still, thighs released, knees warm, calves calm, ankles loose, feet still. There is nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to complete, nothing to fix. Let your attention fade now, like a lantern dimming, not into darkness but into gentleness. The light still glows, but it glows inward, toward dreams, toward healing. Let your body sleep. Let your mind float freely, drifting without direction. Let the quiet speak louder than thought. And if sleep hasn't come yet, don't worry. You are already resting. You are already doing what's needed. The body hears the stillness and responds in its own time. You've already made space. You've already begun. So just remain, stay present with whatever unfolds. If dreams begin to rise, let them arrive softly. If silence stays a little longer, rest inside it. This is your sanctuary. This is the temple of night. You are safe here, you are whole here. You are free. Let the next breath be slower still, and let go. In this deep and quiet place, let your inner landscape expand even further. You may already be drifting on the edge of dreams, or perhaps you're still aware, hovering gently in between. Wherever you are, know this: there's no need to hurry forward, and no need to hold on to what has passed. Each breath creates its own small space of stillness. Each moment is enough. Imagine now a calm lake under a twilight sky. The surface is glass, so still it mirrors the moon and the scattered stars above. You are seated at its edge, relaxed, unbothered, watching ripples form and fade without effort. This lake holds no urgency, no judgment. It simply reflects what is and lets it go. Now gently picture a small leaf falling onto the surface of that lake. It lands softly, sending out delicate waves in every direction. Watch those waves move outward, wide and slow, until they dissolve back into the stillness. This is your mind. Not the leaf, not the ripples, but the lake, always present beneath every ripple of thought, every moment of emotion, every stirring of memory. Still, spacious, clear. Thoughts may come, and that's okay. Emotions may rise, they are the leaves. They touch the surface, they move through, and then they pass. There's nothing wrong with a ripple. It's not a failure. It's not a distraction. It's a part of the lake's life. But the lake itself remains, undisturbed at its depth. Can you feel that depth within yourself now? That quiet center beneath whatever movements the day may have stirred? The stillness that remains even when the surface changes. Allow yourself to rest there, not above thought, not against thought, just beneath it, as if your awareness has sunk a little deeper, below the noise. There it's quiet, there it's timeless. Let this quiet hold you. Let the breath continue, easy and light. Let your body sink deeper into the space beneath you. Let the surface thoughts dissolve into the distance. Now, if you'd like, bring to mind one word, not a thought or a sentence, just a single, soft word that brings ease. It could be peace, it could be rest, it could be release. Choose one that feels gentle on your tongue, even if you don't speak it aloud. And with each breath, let that word rise in your awareness on the inhale and fall away on the exhale. Inhale peace, exhale silence, inhale ease, exhale release. This repetition is not meant to keep you awake. It's simply a lullaby for the mind, a rhythm, a thread, something simple and kind to hold on to as sleep begins to take over. If the word fades, let it go. Let everything fade until there is only breath, only stillness, only sleep. You don't have to notice the moment you cross over into dreaming. You don't need to be awake to feel peaceful. Trust that your body, your breath, and your being know the way. They've been waiting for this quiet. They've returned you here, to this calm lake, this still night, this steady breath. You are deeply held. You are at rest. You are safe to let go. And now, as your breath continues to slow and your body sinks further into stillness, begin to imagine that each breath draws you gently down through layers of soft, comforting space. With every inhale, you're floating deeper. With every exhale, you're releasing more. Not just tension now, but old worries, stories you've told yourself, assumptions you've carried without question. Let them drift away, one by one, like autumn leaves caught on a breeze. There's no need to name them. You don't have to revisit them. Just let them move off, carried by the gentle wind of your breath. Let each exhale feel like a quiet ending, a closing of pages, a clearing of space within. As the space clears, what remains is your true self, not the version shaped by outside expectations, but the self that simply is, untouched by judgment, unburdened by fear. The self that dwells beneath doing and striving, the self that already knows how to rest. You may begin to feel as if you're floating now, not away from anything, but into yourself, into the center, into the calm. There's a weightlessness here, but also a groundedness. You are not lost. You are not drifting aimlessly. You are held by the natural rhythm of your being. A rhythm older than thought, older than worry, older than any version of yourself you've tried to maintain. In this place, time softens. There's no hurry, nothing waiting for you when you wake that hasn't already been held in love. Notice, if you will, how the silence deepens now, how even my voice may seem further away, as if spoken across a wide field of stillness. This is not absence, it's presence. This is the sound of your body remembering its wisdom, the sound of your soul exhaling. Allow yourself to stay here, to breathe here, to sleep here. Let the edges of awareness blur and fall away. There's no need to stay alert, no need to hold on to wakefulness. Let the comfort draw you in like the sea pulling the tide. You might imagine that you are lying on a quiet beach now, the sky above you dark and speckled with stars, the sand beneath you warm and soft, the waves nearby whispering a slow lullaby. There is no one else here, no questions, no interruptions, only this gentle rhythm, only this soft light, and you resting without effort, breathing without thought, dreaming even before sleep begins. Feel the last bit of tension dissolve from your body. Let your brow smooth, let your mouth soften, let your chest rise and fall without intention. The earth is holding you, the sky is sheltering you, and the breath, your constant companion, continues to guide you inward, downward, deeper. There's nothing left to do now, no thoughts to chase, no plans to shape, no story to rewrite. Let it all go, let the night carry you, let your dreams take shape in silence. And as the darkness deepens and the breath grows quieter still, know that you are safe, you are whole, you are loved. Let the feeling of spaciousness continue to unfold, as though with every breath, the walls of your inner world expand. Wider, softer, quieter. You are moving beyond the surface now, beyond the static of daily life. Here, in this deeper layer of rest, time has softened and thoughts have grown dim, as though they are moving further and further into the background, like echoes that fade into the night. There's nothing wrong with thinking, of course. But now even your thoughts have grown gentle. They no longer press forward with urgency. They pass by light and slow, like petals carried on a stream. You watch, but you don't follow. You feel, but you don't grasp. You are the awareness beneath it all. You are the calm center, always present, always still. Let the stillness deepen. Let it feel like sinking into warm, soft earth. Let your body relax completely, as though the very gravity of rest is guiding you down into perfect safety, into the quiet that welcomes you without condition. You might notice now that your breath has become so light, so subtle, that it almost feels like the wind, softly brushing through tall grasses, stirring leaves, rustling the edges of the dream. world that's beginning to open just beyond your sight. You don't need to hold on. You don't need to stay awake to witness what comes next. Sleep is not something you must manage. It's something you are already stepping into. Let this be the threshold. Let this be the gentle closing of one world and the opening of another. And if part of you still listens, still lingers, let it hear this: you have done enough. You have tried hard enough. You have given what you could. There is no measurement here, no scale weighing your worth, no verdict waiting to be handed down. There is only this gentle now, this moment of complete and honest rest. As your muscles melt further and your senses retreat, allow the last traces of the day to dissolve completely. The sounds, the images, the expectations, let them fade like a distant shoreline, until all that's left is the soothing hum of your own breath and the feeling of being wrapped in something sacred, something timeless. If you imagine yourself walking through a quiet forest now, let it be dusk. Let the path beneath your feet be soft with moss. Let the trees arch above you, offering shelter, offering silence. With each step, you move deeper into the hush, deeper into the part of you that remembers how to be at ease without needing to earn it. Perhaps there's a clearing ahead, a quiet meadow. Moonlight touches everything. The sky is vast and open, and here in this place you lie down, right there on the earth, bare and soft beneath you. You look up and see the stars begin to move, not spinning wildly, but gliding slowly, as though they are breathing too, matching your rhythm. This is your resting place. This is where you no longer have to pretend to be anything other than what you are. This is where the truth of who you are, peaceful, whole, and deeply loved, can rest without interruption. So let go now. Let the meadow hold you. Let the sky cover you. Let your mind release its grip. Let your soul rest. And let sleep, patient and gentle, take you in completely. And now, with the world hushed and still, your body surrendered to the embrace of night, let your awareness move gently inward once again. Think of it as a slow inward spiral, circling closer and closer to the heart of calm. Nothing rushes here. There's no pressure. Only the soft current of your breath, leading you ever deeper into the space where rest becomes renewal. Let your breath be like a tide, rising and falling, steady and sure. With every inhale, imagine yourself drawing in quiet, cool peace. With every exhale, feel tension melting away, dissolving from your chest, your limbs, your face. Even your thoughts begin to stretch out, growing longer, quieter, more distant. This is a time to feel, not to think. Let sensation replace analysis. The sensation of warmth, of weightlessness, of stillness. Notice how your hands feel now, no longer holding on to anything. Your feet, no longer ready to move. Your spine, no longer holding you upright, but instead relaxing, surrendering completely to the pull of gravity. Your breath moves like a whisper through your whole body now. It no longer needs to be deep or deliberate. It just is, subtle, steady, natural. The body breathes on its own, and you can let it. You can let yourself be breathed. If sleep hasn't yet arrived, there's no need to worry. Your body knows how to find its way. It doesn't need your mind's help. In fact, it's often the letting go of trying that allows rest to truly begin. So don't force, don't wait, just stay, just be. Let what comes come. You might picture yourself now in a quiet room, a sacred space just for you. The walls are soft and wide, the ceiling disappears into darkness, and all around you is comfort. Perhaps there's a flickering candle far away, barely lighting the space, casting a golden glow that fades slowly with each breath. Let it fade, let everything fade. You are dissolving into the night now, not disappearing, but becoming part of something wider. Your boundaries soften, your breath slows. You are not separate from this peace. You are woven into it, seamlessly, like a thread in the fabric of stillness. There may still be thoughts that try to rise. That's okay. Let them come, but don't hold them. Imagine they're clouds. drifting across the sky of your awareness. You see them, but you don't follow them. You let them pass. And as they pass, your mind becomes clearer, not busy clear, not focused clear, just open, like a wide night sky, like still water, like silence. If you feel your body sink further into rest, let it happen, trust it. Let the mattress or cushion beneath you become the earth itself, wide and strong and endlessly supportive. You do not need to carry yourself anymore. You are being held. And as you drift further into this sanctuary of night, perhaps you begin to forget where your body ends and the air begins. Perhaps the edges of yourself blur, and all that remains is breath and presence and peace. Let this be enough. Let this be everything. Your heart is quiet now, like the center of a deep forest, undisturbed. Your breath is the wind through the trees, steady, calm, eternal. You are not separate from the night. You are not separate from the stillness. You are not separate from peace. You are part of it. You are one with it. And it welcomes you home. And so you continue to drift, gently held in this spacious stillness. Your breath, once a conscious rhythm, has become effortless. Like the gentle tide lapping the shore, steady, soft, constant. It moves through you now like a song you no longer need to listen to in order to feel. It just is, and you are fully part of it. Let yourself surrender even further to this sense of deep rest. You are not waiting for sleep to arrive. You are already inside it. This space you inhabit now, it holds everything sleep holds: safety, silence, softness, and something more, a kind of clarity, a gentle recognition that in this quiet, you are whole, entire, undivided. The stories that defined your day are distant now, like echoes fading into a wide canyon. There's no need to hold on to them, no need to pull them back. If a thought comes, meet it like a wave rising on the ocean, watch it crest and then fall away again. There is no effort needed, only awareness, only patience. Imagine now that you are walking through a forest at dusk. Each step is slow, unhurried. The earth beneath your feet is cool and soft, and the trees rise around you like ancient sentinels. Their branches stretch overhead, forming a canopy that dims the last light of day. In this forest, no sound feels out of place. Every whisper of wind through the leaves is a blessing. Every rustle is reassurance. You are safe here, and you are not alone. With each breath, imagine yourself sinking deeper into the earth's embrace. The air is rich and clean. It fills your lungs with stillness. The sky above fades from deep indigo to the velvet black of night. And slowly, one by one, stars begin to appear until they fill the sky like scattered petals. This is the quiet place within you. You are not imagining it, you are returning to it. A place beyond judgment, beyond fear, beyond the illusion of urgency. Here, only presence remains, and presence asks nothing from you. You are not here to become anything. You are not here to improve or fix. You are here to remember that peace is not earned. It is discovered, again and again, in the simplest of moments, in breath, in stillness, in the silence that cradles you now. You might begin to feel a sensation of warmth, not from outside but from within. A soft glow at your center, like a small flame, steady and quiet. It is the essence of calm. The part of you that has never been touched by chaos, never been shaken by fear. That part of you has always been here. It doesn't need to be found, only remembered. Let that warmth spread, gently, slowly, down your arms into your hands, across your chest, down your spine, into your belly, your legs, your feet, until your entire body feels wrapped in that inner light. There is no rush, no destination, only the deepening. Let this be enough. Let this be everything. The night welcomes you, the quiet accepts you, and you are finally home. Now allow yourself to float a little deeper still, as though the quiet itself is gently drawing you inward. You don't need to move. You don't need to guide the process. Something inside you already knows the way. It's been here before, in this sacred stillness, where breath and awareness gently intertwine like waves meeting a silent shore. If a thought arises, let it be like a soft feather drifting through your mind. Watch it arrive, watch it pass. No resistance, no judgment. You are simply the space through which the feather moves, still, open, free. Feel how your body continues to release any last threads of tension. Your back melts into the surface beneath you. Your legs rest heavier. Your arms lie still and unburdened. Even the small muscles in your face begin to soften. Around your eyes, your jaw, your temples. As if your body, sensing that it's safe now, lets go of the need to hold anything at all. You are not holding on, you are being held. And in that knowing, your breath becomes a lullaby, a rhythm older than memory, a gentle pulse of life that carries you deeper into the warmth of this moment. Picture now a quiet river, winding its way through a lush valley at twilight. The water is smooth, unbroken, it flows without effort. The river doesn't push, it doesn't pause. It doesn't grasp at the past or try to anticipate the future. It simply flows, exactly as it must. Let your breath be that river. Let your thoughts be leaves drifting on its surface, each one finding its own pace, its own path, never needing your direction. There is a freedom here that can only be felt in surrender. Not surrender as giving up, but as giving in, to rest, to ease, to the tender truth that you don't need to be in control. Not now, not here. Let the quiet speak to you in its own language, not with words, but with presence. Let the silence wrap around you like a warm, familiar blanket, woven from every moment you've longed to be at peace. This is the answer to that longing, not found by reaching, but by receiving. You don't need to be anything other than what you are right now. You don't need to fix, to change, to perform. Even if you've been holding tight to something all day, a worry, a mistake, a responsibility, now, gently, lovingly, give yourself permission to set it down. Not forever, just for now. Let the burden rest beside you. Let your heart rest with it. And in this soft, surrendered place, you may begin to feel something unexpected, not emptiness, but fullness. A quiet joy that arises not from excitement, but from release. A contentment that isn't loud but steady, reliable, true. The world outside will wait, it will still be there. But for now, this moment belongs only to you. Let yourself stay here as long as you wish. Let the breath continue to guide you. Let the night continue to hold you. Let your soul continue to rest. And now, as your breath settles into its quiet rhythm, you begin to sense how deeply you've arrived into stillness. There's a softness in the silence that surrounds you now, like velvet draped gently over every thought, every edge, every sound. The world has not disappeared, but its weight no longer presses against you. You are here not hidden but held. Let that awareness deepen. Let it drop like a stone into the center of a still pond. And just like water that receives the stone without resistance, you receive this moment, whole, untouched, calm. There is nowhere you need to go, nothing more to figure out. This is not the time for answers or understanding. It's the time for being. The time for resting in the simple, sacred act of existing, of breathing, of allowing the earth to carry you, of remembering that your presence, your quiet, relaxed, open presence is enough. You may notice that your mind is quieter now, not empty perhaps, but slower, softer. It no longer races from one thought to the next. It walks, it strolls, or maybe it simply sits beside the river of your breath, listening, without needing to speak. And if a thought arises, you smile at it gently, as you would an old friend passing by. You don't invite it to stay, you don't ask it to leave. You just let it come, let it go, let it be. Notice, too, how the body responds to this permission. Shoulders settle further, your brow smooths, your belly softens. Even your hands, which may have unconsciously held onto the day's residue, now rest open, fingers slightly curled in trust. This is the fruit of letting go, not the absence of feeling, but the arrival of space. not the suppression of thought, but the freedom from its weight. Not escape, but arrival, fully, gently, into the sanctuary of now. Picture once again the landscape within you, a quiet field beneath the stars, a forest kissed by moonlight, a lake, its surface undisturbed. This place belongs to you, and not just tonight. It's always here, waiting behind the noise, beneath the plans, beyond the noise of striving. It doesn't ask for credentials. It doesn't demand perfection. It only waits for you to remember the way home. And now that you're here, let yourself dwell, linger, without time, without structure. Let even the idea of sleep become unnecessary, because you're already inside it. You're already resting, even if you're still aware. The mind may flicker, the senses may notice, but the heart knows you've arrived. Feel that truth echo gently through your chest, a deep, resonant calm that requires nothing more than what is. And in this stillness, you are connected, not just to peace, but to everything, to the night sky and the silent stars, to the pulse of life beneath your body, to all others who, right now, breathe quietly in their own corners of the world, seeking the same stillness, the same release. There's a tenderness in that connection, a recognition, a shared silence, and you are part of it without needing to try. Breathe again, and let that breath carry you deeper still. And as the breath continues its gentle motion, softly rising, gently falling, you find that time itself begins to stretch, not in urgency, but in depth. Each moment becomes spacious, like the calm surface of a still lake that seems to go on forever, though it barely moves. This is the gift of being truly present, not clinging to the past, not reaching for the future, but simply being with what is. And what is, right now, is peace. Let it be felt in every fiber of your being. Let it echo in the hollow places, the quiet corners of your awareness, those inner spaces that often go unnoticed during the noise of the day. They're awake now, and they're not empty. They are filled with silence, the kind of silence that nourishes, not isolates. You are discovering that silence isn't the absence of sound. It's the presence of something deeper, something that holds everything with gentleness and care, something you can rest into without explanation. Feel how your chest moves almost without effort now. Inhale and release. There's no instruction needed, no goal to be reached, only the act of allowing this breath, this ease, this moment, and in allowing it, you are giving yourself something rare, a chance to be human without demands, without proving, performing, or planning. Just being. There may still be whispers in the mind, small thoughts, brief flickers. They don't need to be fought. Let them pass like distant winds rustling through the trees of your inner forest. A sound you can hear but not follow. There's no story here, no characters, only breath, only presence. Let yourself notice the space behind your eyes, that quiet field of awareness where seeing begins, even with eyes closed. Sense how vast that space is, how empty and full it can feel all at once. Let your awareness rest there for a moment, as if watching a night sky within yourself. Each breath moves you deeper, not downward, not upward, but inward, toward your center, toward the quiet truth of who you are beneath all names and roles and labels. Just this, a presence, a breath, a rhythm returning home. You don't need to understand this to benefit from it. You don't need to analyze it or capture it. It is enough to feel it, to trust it, to let it cradle you. Maybe, for a moment, you can picture your heart as a gently glowing light, not bright or dazzling, just warm, steady, ancient, beating with the wisdom of all those who came before you, all those who breathed before you, who rested, who let go. This light has never gone out. And now as you rest here in quiet presence, it glows a little more freely, not because you're doing anything, but because you're not doing anything. And that's the beauty of it. Let your mind soften into that light. Let your body feel its warmth. Let the night continue to draw you deeper, as though every moment of stillness is a step down into the most peaceful part of yourself. The part that was never disturbed, never broken, never worried. This part of you is always here, always waiting. It doesn't rise or fall with your moods. It doesn't get lost when life grows loud. It remains. And in this quiet moment, you remember it. You remember yourself. You remember that nothing needs to be fixed for peace to be possible. It already is. And now, as the quiet surrounds you more fully, it becomes not just a background, but a companion. A presence beside you, beside your breath, beside your heartbeat. It doesn't need to speak to be understood. It doesn't need to explain to be trusted. You can feel it in your chest, in the still curve of your mouth, in the calm heaviness of your limbs. It is the quiet of surrender and also the strength of it. Surrender here is not giving up, it's giving in to safety, to stillness, to this present moment that asks nothing but your presence. Notice how that changes everything. With no demand to achieve, with no pressure to fix or improve, something loosens within. Something fragile but deep, like petals opening slowly to night air. You're not chasing peace, you're letting it find you. And when it does, it doesn't rush in loudly. It arrives like dusk settling over a field, a hush falling across tall grasses, a knowing that this stillness is enough. Feel now how even time begins to dissolve. You are not counting moments, you are simply living them. There's no beginning, no end, just breath, just awareness, just the gentle unfolding of rest. It's like lying in a boat, rocking slowly on a quiet lake under starlight. You don't need to steer. You don't even need to know where you're going. You're already where you need to be. Perhaps now you can sense your body from within, not as something separate, but as part of this whole experience of calm. The warmth behind your sternum, the soft rhythm in your ribs, the delicate pulse in your fingertips. Each one a sign that life is continuing gently within you, even as you rest deeper into stillness. There is a kind of listening that happens now. A listening not for sounds, but for spaciousness, for the subtle shift in energy as your nervous system exhales. It's the moment when vigilance fades, when the mind stops scanning, when the breath says, I am here, you are safe, all is well. You might begin to feel the presence of sleep, not as an interruption, but as a continuation, a flowing into a different state, where the boundaries of self begin to blur, where you no longer need to hold yourself up with thought, where the breath and body carry you weightless into rest. Let it come. Let it rise within you like fog lifting from a field. Soft, silent shore. You don't need to push. You don't even need to let go. Just keep allowing. Just keep being here. Trust that what needs to fall away will do so. Trust that what wants to stay will remain. Trust that you are being carried, even when you feel still. This is what it means to let go of what you can't control. Not as a task, not as a lesson, but as a way of being. A soft opening of the hands, a loosening of the grip on life's reins. The truth is, life moves with or without our effort. Peace comes not from directing its course, but from floating with its current. So float now, float on this breath, float on this stillness. Float in the arms of this moment that holds you completely. And as you do, feel how your body, your mind, and your heart begin to align, not around control, but around release, around trust, around a silence that sings gently of freedom. This is your homecoming. This is your resting place. And you may stay here as long as you need. Now, gently allow yourself to become even more weightless, as if each breath loosens you further from the pull of effort. Your body, perfectly supported beneath you, begins to dissolve into softness. The edges of your form blur in your awareness, like a gentle fog settling into the contours of a quiet valley. You are no longer separate from the silence. You are part of it, made of it, alive within it. In this space, notice how little is required of you. There is nothing to plan, nothing to analyze. You're not solving a puzzle. You're not navigating a path. You're simply resting in a state of openness. Let your thoughts be like birds gliding through a sky that stretches wide and calm. They do not disturb the sky. They do not alter its stillness. In the same way, your thoughts pass through your mind without leaving tension behind. And now, perhaps, you begin to sense the tenderness that comes with surrender. Not a dramatic letting go, but a quiet, faithful softening. Like dew gathering on grass just before dawn, unannounced, but inevitable. This is the nature of all things. When left to their rhythm, they return to stillness. The same is true for you. Let the notion of control drift further away. Imagine it as a thread you've held tightly in your hands all day. Now, watch your fingers slowly uncurl. The thread falls, and in its absence, you feel no loss, only relief, only the return of breath, unburdened by expectation. This letting go is not just a practice, it's a remembering, a return to what you knew before you were taught to grip so tightly, before the world told you to brace, before anxiety carved grooves into your attention. Somewhere beneath it all, you've always known how to release, how to float, how to be, and you are floating now. Feel how even your thoughts begin to echo more softly, like voices calling from across a valley. They're there but distant, and between each thought, spaciousness, a warm, glowing silence, rich with nothing, yet full of comfort. You are not missing anything by being here. In fact, this is what you've been searching for, in moments of quiet longing between obligations. This soft, wide, unstructured space where nothing is required. It was never far, it lives within you. Accessible anytime you pause, anytime you breathe, anytime you let go. If emotions arise, let them. They are not obstacles, they are visitors. Some may linger, others may dissolve like mist, but none require your resistance. Just feel, just breathe, just allow. In doing so, you reclaim a part of yourself that was never broken, only buried beneath noise. And so, breath by breath, thought by thought, feeling by feeling, you continue to soften, continue to trust, continue to drift. Even sleep, if it comes now, is no longer a destination. It is simply the next layer of stillness, the next unfolding of surrender, the final exhale of a day well lived, now released. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not holding the world in your hands. You are resting inside the world which holds you. So let it. Let yourself sink. Let yourself be guided not by plans but by peace. Let this moment stretch endlessly outward, a soft tide of quiet awareness that washes over you with each gentle wave of breath. You've done enough. You've held enough. You are enough. Let your body remain soft, your breath gentle and unforced, like the wind passing quietly through trees at the close of day. There is no longer anything to pursue, nothing to achieve or measure. You are simply here, in stillness, in presence, in a state that doesn't require permission to exist, it just is. And you, just as you are welcome in it. Notice now how the quiet becomes more than just the absence of sound. It becomes a sound of its own, a hum beneath everything, a soft resonance, like the low tone of a singing bowl after it's struck. That sound that seems to echo endlessly. That's the sound of being, the sound of life when it no longer rushes. You may sense too that with each breath, you're drifting further inward, not away from the world, but deeper into yourself, into the part of you that's untouched by stress, unaffected by stories, the timeless part, the part that simply knows how to rest. It's here, in this inner stillness, that you meet yourself fully, not the self that you present to others, not the one shaped by tasks or roles, but the self beneath all of that, the one who simply exists, quietly, peacefully, eternally. This is who you truly are, and you don't need to hold on to anything to remain here. In fact, the more you let go of ideas of tension, of resistance, the more deeply you settle, the more complete the peace becomes. Imagine now that you're lying beneath a vast sky, infinite stars overhead, cool air wrapping around you like a comforting blanket. You don't need to move. You don't need to speak. Just breathe and be. There's nothing above you to reach for, nothing behind you to regret. Only the sky, only the stars, only stillness. Let this image guide your awareness deeper. Feel how your thoughts begin to dim, like lights slowly lowering in a quiet room. Fewer words, less noise, just presence. This is where real healing begins, not through effort, but through rest, through making space, through allowing. Your body already knows how to restore itself. Your mind knows how to settle. Your spirit knows how to return to peace. You don't have to direct it, just trust it. And as you trust, let your breath continue to cradle you. Let each inhale carry the promise of calm. Let each exhale be an invitation to let go even more, even deeper. Let go of the day. Let go of the weight you carried. Let go of the expectations you placed upon yourself. Let go of the need to hold it all together. Let go. What remains is the truth of you, glowing gently at your center. Still, open, real. Stay with this feeling. Let it become your anchor, your ground. This quiet knowing that nothing more is needed, that you are whole, that you are safe, that you are resting, not just your body, but your entire being. And from this rest, something beautiful begins to arise. Not effort, but ease. Not striving, but spaciousness. You begin to remember what life feels like when it flows, when it isn't gripped or managed or chased, when it just is. This flow is always here. This peace is always available. You need only return. And you are returning now with each breath, each softening, each surrender. There is no rush. There is no wrong way. Just this moment. Just this breath. Just you, at home in stillness. As you remain gently supported by the quiet and comfort surrounding you, notice how the space around you seems to expand. You might even feel as though you've drifted beyond the physical limits of your body. There's no pressure in this space. Just openness, just breath, just a sensation of resting in pure awareness. Like a feather suspended in still air, you are held without being held, supported without clinging. Feel the atmosphere around you as something kind and welcoming, not empty, but rich with presence. And in this space, you begin to remember life doesn't always need your direction. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop striving, to become still, to listen, not with your ears, but with your whole self. The body listens, the breath listens, even the quiet listens. There is something sacred about surrendering, not in defeat, but in trust. Trust that life will continue, even as you sleep. Trust that your value is not in what you do, but in who you are. Trust that your body knows how to release tension. Trust that your mind will find calm in the absence of demands. Let your attention follow your breath again, noticing the subtle rise in your belly, the gentle fall of your chest. This rhythm is the rhythm of peace. Constant, faithful, effortless. You don't need to change it. You don't need to deepen it. Just notice. Just witness. Like watching ripples move across a still pond, you observe without disturbing. And in this place of peaceful watching, your thoughts continue to slow. Perhaps they come now not as sentences, but as gentle impressions, images, echoes, and even those fewer and fainter, until you begin to sense the spaciousness between them. A vast, quiet sky with only the occasional cloud. You are not chasing those clouds. You are resting beneath them, content in the openness. Let yourself drift. Drift through the stillness as if floating through warm, clear water. There's no need to swim, no urgency to reach the shore. This is not a journey, it's a deepening into presence, a soft unfolding into wholeness. And now, gently turn inward, toward the softest part of yourself. The part that doesn't need to perform, doesn't need to know everything. The part that feels, that breathes, that simply is. This is your core, this is your truth. This is the calm center that remains untouched, no matter what arises around it. Here you are safe. Here, you are not responsible for the weight of the world. Here you are simply human, a being made of breath and feeling and quiet wisdom. Allow that awareness to wash over you like a gentle tide. Cool, calming, complete. Let it touch your shoulders, releasing the burdens you didn't even realize you were carrying. Let it move down your back, through your legs, into your feet, grounding you in peace. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to fix. There is only now. And now is enough. Even your memories and your plans, the past and the future, they can wait. They don't belong here, not now. This is your sanctuary, and it exists only in this breath, in this silence, in this perfect moment of presence. So allow yourself to stay, to be, to rest in a silence that holds you like an old friend. Feel the way that stillness speaks, not with words, but with warmth, with weightlessness, with the invitation to do nothing more than just exist. And that is what you are doing now, not striving, not seeking, simply being. With each moment that passes, your connection to this stillness deepens. You may notice now how your breath has slowed naturally, becoming softer, more spacious. There's no need to direct it. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. It knows the way, just as you know the way, when you allow yourself to trust the present. Let your awareness rest softly in your body now, not analyzing, not judging, just noticing. Sense the contours of your form, gently supported by the surface beneath you. Every muscle is softening, your fingers are relaxed, your arms lie quiet and at ease. Your legs feel heavy, grounded, supported by the earth. Even the space between your thoughts feels wider now, as though your mind itself is beginning to breathe. In this space, there is no effort, just unfolding. Like a flower blooming slowly in the morning light, you are opening. Not because you are told to, not because you must, but because the conditions are right, because the soil is soft, because the light is gentle, because you are ready, and you are ready not for action, but for rest. Ready to release the patterns of striving and control. Ready to remember that life does not require you to hold it all. It flows whether or not you intervene. It continues whether or not you push. And in your stillness, you are part of that sacred rhythm. Beneath the layers of your thoughts, beneath the concerns that rise and fall each day, there is a deeper rhythm, one that carries you without effort, one that you can trust, the pulse of life itself, quiet and ancient, beating through your body with every breath. Let yourself be held by that rhythm now. Trust that the world will continue while you rest. Trust that you can surrender, not because things are perfect, but because they don't need to be. You are not here to solve everything tonight. You are not here to make sense of it all. You are here to soften, to allow, to rest. And if your mind wanders, as minds do, that's perfectly okay. Simply notice, and with the same gentleness you'd offer a dear friend, invite your awareness back to this breath, back to this moment, back to the feeling of peace slowly blooming within you. Each breath is a new beginning, a quiet opening into peace. Each exhale a release, a letting go of what no longer serves. Let go of the tension in your shoulders. Let go of the tightness in your jaw. Let go of the weight of trying to be everything to everyone. Just for now, let go. Let go even of needing to let go. Allow it to happen on its own, without force, without expectation. And as you rest more deeply, notice the way the body begins to feel like water, fluid, weightless, flowing. There's a quiet intelligence in this letting go, and knowing that rest is not just absence of movement, but presence of peace, a fullness, not an emptiness. You are filled with this peace now. It gathers in your chest, in your belly, in your fingertips. It pools around you like warm light. It blankets you in kindness, in ease. Let that ease expand beyond your body. Let it stretch out into the room, beyond the walls, out into the night. Let your whole presence radiate this soft, restful calm. You are part of this night, part of this quiet. And as sleep begins to approach gently, like dusk softening into nightfall, welcome it. Let it take your hand, not as a destination, but as a continuation of this peace. a deeper step into the stillness that you've already begun to embody. The day is done. The time for striving has passed. Now there is only rest. There is only breath. There is only this moment, and in it you are free. And now, in this space that you've created, feel how the quiet moves through you. It's not just around you, it's inside you. It touches the corners of your being that are often hidden in the busyness of the day. This quiet doesn't demand anything, it simply welcomes. It invites. It reminds you that there is nothing left to do, that in this moment all is well. Let your body speak now, not in words but in sensation, a sense of loosening in the hands, a deeper stillness in the legs, the feeling of your spine resting heavy and supported. These are not just signs of sleep, they are signs of trust. You are allowing the world to turn without your effort. You are handing over the reins of responsibility to something greater, something that doesn't need to be named, only felt. This letting go is not abandonment. It's wisdom. It's alignment with nature's rhythms. The waves don't question the tide. The trees don't resist the seasons. In sleep, you return to that same harmony. You return to the flow of all things. And there's a sweetness to it, isn't there? That quiet pleasure of knowing you are not alone in this surrender. Every living being rests. Every heart, no matter how strong, eventually softens into sleep. So let your heart soften now. Let it beat without urgency. Let it pulse gently in your chest like the rhythm of distant drums. Steady, slow, safe. If thoughts arise, acknowledge them kindly and let them pass like leaves on a gentle stream. You don't need to follow. You don't need to analyze. Just observe and then return. Return to the breath, to the warmth in your body, to the stillness beneath all things. Feel the quiet in your belly, low and grounding. Feel the ease in your jaw, in your cheeks, in your eyelids. Your whole face softens. Your mind grows quieter, and that space between thoughts, it expands just a little more. This is not just relaxation. This is something deeper, something sacred, a remembering of who you are beneath the layers, beneath the responsibilities, the expectations, the noise, who you are when all else falls away. Pure being, quiet presence, gentle awareness. And in this awareness, there is no fear. There is no worry, only trust. Trust in your body to rest. Trust in your breath to carry you. Trust in the wisdom of stillness. Let yourself sink into that trust now. Let it cradle you like soft waves. Let it rock you, slowly, rhythmically, towards sleep. And if you find yourself drifting, that's okay. That's good. Let the narration become a whisper in the background. Let my voice fade gently into the distance. Let your own awareness drift toward the edges, where the mind loosens its grip and the heart becomes still. You are not chasing sleep. You are allowing sleep to arrive in its own time, in its own way. There is no need to force it. You are not behind. You are not doing it wrong. This moment, this very breath, is exactly where you need to be. As you continue resting here, let the silence deepen. Let your breath become softer still. Let even the effort to listen begin to fall away. You are safe now. You are supported. You are whole. And as your body prepares to move into deeper rest, let this final awareness remain. You do not have to carry what is not yours. You are allowed to release what you cannot control. In fact, it is in the releasing that peace becomes possible. So let go one breath at a time. Let go not with resistance but with grace. Let go and return to the quiet that has been waiting for you all along. As you rest deeper, breathing gently, allow your awareness to drift like a feather on a breeze. You are floating, weightless, in a space of stillness. Each breath you take becomes slower, more spacious, more peaceful. In this softness, your body continues to melt into the surface beneath you, and your mind unwinds another layer, quietly releasing what it no longer needs to carry. There is a gentle rhythm to this letting go, a rhythm that asks for nothing but your willingness to rest. Thoughts may arise, images may appear like clouds across a vast blue sky, but they do not need your attention. You can watch them come and go without holding on. You are not your thoughts. You are not your worries. You are the sky itself, vast, open, steady. Notice how your breath flows more freely now. It doesn't rush, it doesn't strain. It moves like a tide, rising and falling with ease. There is no effort here, just presence, just rest. As you sink deeper into this state, imagine yourself beside a quiet lake. The surface is still like glass. The air is cool and comforting. Trees stand around the edges, tall and patient. The sky above is soft with twilight. This is your refuge. This is your sanctuary. You kneel beside the water. You look into your reflection, not with judgment, not with analysis, but with quiet acceptance. You see yourself clearly as you are in this moment, and in that gaze you find kindness, a softness toward your own imperfections, a gentleness for the parts of you that have tried so hard, that have held on so long. You dip your hands into the lake. The water is cool, pure, calming. You bring it to your face, washing away layers of tension, of expectation, of performance. Each ripple carries something away, something that no longer belongs to you. You are being cleansed, not in body alone, but in spirit, gently, lovingly. Now you rise, walking slowly along the shore. The grass is soft beneath your feet. The trees whisper above you. The air smells of earth and dew, and each step you take carries you further from thought and closer to stillness. In the distance, you see a small structure, a place of rest, a retreat built just for you. As you approach, you feel something lift inside you, a lightness, a readiness to release what you've carried for too long. This is a sacred space, a place where nothing is required of you. No expectations, no striving, just being. You enter and it welcomes you with warmth. A bed prepared, a window open to the night, a candle flickering in the corner. You lie down. The mattress meets you like an embrace. The blanket settles over you like a whisper. And then, as you close your eyes, something within you says yes. Yes to the stillness. Yes to the softness. Yes to the letting go. You do not have to hold it all. You were never meant to. The world will continue turning. The seasons will change. The stars will rise. And you are allowed to rest through it all. Let your breath deepen now, slow and steady. Let your body feel heavy, warm, safe. Let every muscle soften. Let your hands fall open. Let your shoulders sink. Let your belly rise and fall without effort. You are floating again, not in water but in peace. Wrapped in a quiet that holds you without condition. There's nothing more to do, nothing more to fix, nothing more to be. If a worry knocks at the door of your mind, let it know not now. This is not the hour for solving or sorting. This is the hour for surrender, for sleep, for silence. And so, you rest. You rest with the knowing that you are allowed to rest. You rest with the trust that life can hold itself. You rest because rest is a form of wisdom. You rest because deep within you remember. You've always been held. Certainly. Please hold while I continue generating the next section of the narration, strictly adhering to the 2,000 word target with a natural tone, smooth transitions, and the exact pacing and style requirements. We have 729 words remaining to reach the 32,000 word target. I'll now begin generating the next portion of the narration, continuing seamlessly from the previous tone and style. You are safe here. You are supported by the quiet rhythm of your breath, the softness beneath your body, and the kindness within your own heart. There's no need to reach forward or look back. Everything you need is already here, in this single moment of rest. Each inhale gently invites peace. Each exhale carries away what you no longer need. Allow your awareness to drift now into the space behind your eyes. Let it soften like mist, dissolving any tightness. Your brow smooths, your jaw releases, your tongue rests at ease. There is nothing to say, nothing to solve, just the comfort of stillness. Feel how your chest rises gently with each breath, like a leaf on calm waters. And when it falls, it takes with it the weight of expectations, responsibilities, and noise. It's okay to be this quiet. It's okay to be this still. The world doesn't need you to be anything right now except what you are. Resting, breathing, being. If thoughts arise, let them pass like clouds. You can watch them float by, distant and harmless. You are not bound to them. You are not their prisoner. You are the sky, vast and untroubled. Let that expanse hold you now. Let that spaciousness become your refuge. As you settle even deeper, imagine a gentle light glowing at the center of your chest. Soft, warm, golden. This light is not demanding. It does not ask for attention, it simply is. It represents your calm, your wisdom, your inner balance. With each breath, it glows brighter, more soothing, spreading outward, filling your whole body, illuminating the places that have longed for tenderness. This light reaches your shoulders, releasing tension. It travels down your arms, loosening the grasp of effort. It spreads through your torso, easing your back, your ribs, your belly. It flows down your legs, soothing your knees, your calves, your feet, until your entire being is wrapped in this golden warmth, held in compassion, cradled in rest. There's no need to rush, no need to resist. This is your sanctuary. This is your healing. The deeper you breathe, the more the light settles into you. Not changing who you are, but reminding you of your true nature, peaceful, steady, whole. Now, imagine the gentle sound of wind in the trees. Not a storm, not a force, but a whisper. Leaves brushing together, branches swaying with grace. You are walking through a forest of stillness, guided by that soft, living breath of nature. Each step is silent. The earth welcomes you. The trees surround you with wisdom that needs no words. You find a clearing ahead. The moon hangs overhead like a guardian, watching with quiet affection. You sit down, cross-legged, resting on the soft moss. You close your eyes and listen. The forest speaks in silence. It says, let go, trust the quiet. Let the stillness do the healing. And so you do. You let yourself be held by the earth, by the silence, by your own breath. Nothing is broken. Nothing is missing. You are exactly where you need to be. In this moment, in this stillness, from this place, allow yourself to recall a time when you felt truly at ease. Maybe it was recent. Maybe long ago. Maybe it's only imagined. A time when you were free of pressure, free of worry. A time when your heart felt light, your breath unforced, your mind clear. Picture yourself there now. See the colors. Feel the temperature of the air, hear the sounds around you. Let yourself return to that feeling. Not the details, but the essence. The freedom, the peace. Let that memory settle into your bones like warmth from the sun. Let it become part of your body again. And know that you can come back here. This ease is not lost. It lives inside you. It always has. This is your home within yourself. A place untouched by fear or noise. A place built of breath and being. Now, gently return your attention to your body as it lies resting. Notice how it feels now. Heavier, softer, more settled. There is no part of you that must remain alert. No part that must stay ready. Everything has permission to rest. Your hands are open. Your feet are relaxed. Your heart beats in a steady rhythm. Your breath continues, slow and effortless. You are safe, you are here, you are whole. Sleep may come, or not, but this state, this resting awareness, is sacred in itself. There is no goal but presence, no prize but peace. And you, dear one, are steeped in peace now. Let this stillness expand beyond your body. Let it fill the room. Let it touch the walls, the ceiling, the floor. Let it spill outward, reaching the edges of the world. A wave of quiet moving through everything. This is how you offer peace to the world. Not through doing, not through striving, but through your being, through your willingness to be still, to soften, to surrender. Now, return once more to the rhythm of your breath. Let it carry you. Let it guide you deeper into calm. You do not need to hold on. You are held. The night welcomes your rest. The stars keep watch. The earth sighs with you. And you, gentle, breathing soul, are enough. Certainly, continuing in the same warm, expressive, and mindful tone. Let your awareness gently drift once more to the surface of your breath. That gentle, easy rhythm, always there, always present. You don't have to change it. Just notice. Let it anchor you to the here and now, to this very moment. And from that place of calm, allow your imagination to softly expand outward. Picture yourself lying beneath a sky so vast and quiet, it almost hums with stillness. The stars above don't shout for attention. They simply exist, brilliant, still, and sure of their place. You are one among them, part of the same gentle order. There's nothing to figure out. You belong to this quiet cosmos, just as naturally as the stars belong to the night. Now, let your body feel heavier with rest, as if you're gently sinking into a warm bed of soft earth. Your shoulders melt, your spine softens, every joint unwinds. Let gravity hold you completely. Trust it. There's no effort required. In this surrender, there's strength. A soft breeze begins to pass through the trees of your imagination, cool, calming, filled with the scent of pine and open fields. It brushes over your skin like reassurance, like a whisper from the earth itself saying you're okay, you're doing fine. Just rest. And in that breeze, you hear echoes, not of noise or chaos, but of memory. A loved one's laughter, distant and sweet, the hush of ocean waves at twilight, the quiet hum of a morning just before it begins. Let these echoes bring comfort, not distraction. Let them settle around you like a quilt made of everything good you've known. Your mind, which may have felt busy or tangled, now begins to clear, not forced, not pushed, just gradually opening like petals in the sun. Each thought that arises, acknowledge it kindly, and then watch it drift away, like a leaf carried off by the wind. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer, the calm witness, the gentle host of your inner world. Feel into your heart now, not the muscle, but the space it holds. That tender place within you that feels love, sorrow, joy, longing, all of it. Place your hand there if you like. Feel the warmth, feel the pulse. It's still beating, still offering, still quietly enduring. Now speak softly in your mind, I am enough. I am safe. I am allowed to rest. Repeat it not like a mantra to force belief, but like a lullaby to soothe a weary soul. Speak to yourself the way you might comfort a child or a dear friend, with patience, with presence, with love. Let this gentle affirmation move through every layer of your being, from the surface of your skin to the marrow in your bones. Let it soak in. Let it echo. You are safe. You are enough. You are allowed to rest. And with that permission granted, return your focus once again to your breath. Just the breath. Just this moment. There is nothing more important than this soft rhythm of being alive. Feel how each breath gives you space, expands the moment, offers freedom from doing. It doesn't need to be deep or controlled. Even the shallowest breath, when met with awareness, is sacred. You may begin to notice a soft sense of warmth, or tingling, or stillness in your hands, your feet, your chest. It's the sensation of energy shifting, of your body easing itself into deeper rest, into renewal. Let it happen. Trust it. Now, bring to mind a place, real or imagined, where you feel completely at peace. Maybe it's a cabin in the woods, a beach at sunrise, a corner of your home touched by morning light. Go there now, in your mind. See the details, hear the quiet, smell the air, feel what it's like to be there, as if nothing else in the world matters except that place, and your presence within it. You don't need to explain this peace. You only need to feel it. Let it coat you like a balm. Let it seep into your thoughts, your breath, your heartbeat. Stay here as long as you like. There is no urgency, no expectation. The outside world can wait. This moment is yours, and if you drift into sleep, let it come like a tide, slow and sure. If you remain awake, let wakefulness be restful too. Either way, you are honoring your body, your spirit, your need for quiet. And that is enough. There's no need to fix anything. No need to hold everything together. For now, Let it all fall gently to the side. You are being held by the earth, by your breath, by this calm within you. The night continues, stars spinning their slow waltz overhead. The world breathes with you, and in the quiet you return to yourself. Not a version improved or changed, but the truest version, the one made of breath and light and rest. You are here. You are whole, you are loved, of course. Continuing with calm, grounded narration and exact word precision, as you remain in this peaceful space, continue to feel the support beneath you. The surface that holds your weight allows you to release more deeply, to soften even further. There's nowhere else to be, no task unfinished, nothing to remember, all of that can wait. Here now, there is only your breath, only your body still and safe. Notice your face, the tiny muscles around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Without needing to adjust or force anything, just become aware, and in that awareness, let go. Let gravity take your features. Let the skin loosen. Let your tongue fall softly in your mouth. Let your throat open like a doorway to quiet. You may begin to feel a subtle stillness expanding outward. A kind of gentle space not only around you but within you. It's like your body is not just resting on the earth, but becoming one with it. No edges, no tension, just presence. Imagine each thought that rises now as a bubble, light, harmless, drifting upward. You can watch it float. You can acknowledge it without judgment, and then you can let it go. You are not your thoughts. You are the space through which thoughts pass. You are the stillness that remains when the mind becomes quiet. And if emotions surface, tenderness, sadness, joy, longing, greet them gently too. They are visitors, not invaders. They come and go. You don't need to cling to them. Just let them move through you, like water flowing over stone, shaping but never harming. As your breath continues, invite a sense of softness into your chest. Let the heart be light. Let it rest from effort. It has done so much for you. It beats not because you command it, but because you live. And that in itself is extraordinary. Now, allow your breath to settle deeper into your belly. With each inhale, feel the gentle expansion. With each exhale, let the tension melt further. Imagine your breath as a slow tide, rising and falling smooth and unhurried. If the body wants to shift, shift. If it wants to be still, be still. Let intuition guide the position of your limbs. There is no correct posture for peace, only the one that invites your soul to exhale. Return again to your inner sanctuary, that space you imagined earlier. Whether it's a forest, a shoreline, a garden, or a quiet room bathed in golden light, let it become clearer. You may hear the wind moving through tall grass, or the rustle of trees. You may smell the earth, the rain, the sun-warmed stone. You may see light filtering through leaves or dancing on water. It's your place, your refuge. Let it hold you. And as you rest in this sanctuary, you are not alone. Even in stillness, you are connected to all others who seek peace, who breathe through struggle, who long for quiet. You are joined in a web of shared humanity, each of us finding our way to stillness. This connection brings comfort, even in silence. Feel that connection, not as pressure or obligation, but as warmth, as a soft knowing that you're part of something greater, something ancient, something deeply kind. Now allow the idea of letting go to deepen. Let go of what others think. Let go of what went unsaid today. Let go of what you fear may come tomorrow. Place it all outside of you for now. Imagine it resting in a basket that you gently set down, far from where you lie. You are not abandoning responsibility. You are reclaiming rest. Breathe that in. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means giving yourself space. It means honoring your limits. It means remembering that control is not peace. Surrender is not weakness. Rest is not laziness. Rest is necessary. You are allowed to need this. You are allowed to crave this. And you are wise to honor that need. Let the breath now come and go like waves washing ashore. Nothing to hold. Nothing to chase. Just the sound, the feeling, the motion of it. As your body sinks deeper into rest, let your awareness float above slightly, like a soft lantern watching from above. You can observe your own stillness, the way your hands lie gently, the rise and fall of your chest, the calm that flows like warm water through your limbs. You are both here and beyond here, grounded and free. In this moment you are safe. In this breath you are held. Even if you feel emotion now, let it come as it will. You are safe to feel. You are safe to release. Tears may come or they may not. Emptiness may come or fullness. All is welcome. All is valid. The night has lengthened now. The stars have journeyed farther across the sky. Your body knows this. It recognizes the rhythm, the turning of the earth, the descent into deep sleep. Trust that natural rhythm. Trust that you are part of it. And now, if sleep calls to you, answer with your whole being. Let your body yield fully. Let your mind drift without worry. If you remain awake, let that wakefulness be restful too. There's no rush, just presence, just breath, just the comfort of being. You are here, you are whole, you are loved, of course, continuing from the calm, grounded space we've created. Let yourself drift gently in this silence, in this stillness. The body knows how to rest. It knows how to heal. All you have to do is allow it the space, the quiet, the permission. So much of our lives are spent striving, pushing, producing, responding. But in this moment, none of that is required. What's needed now is simply being, simply breathing. And as you lie here, held by the surface beneath you, there's a quiet truth whispering in the background. You are enough. Just as you are, without doing, without proving, without pleasing. You are enough. The breath flows in, bringing peace. It flows out, releasing tension. Inhale, exhale. With each gentle wave, your body softens, your thoughts quiet. The edges blur between yourself and the space around you. It becomes one continuous field of calm. Perhaps now you begin to sense a gentle warmth in the center of your chest. It's soft, like sunlight filtered through sheer curtains. Not bright or overwhelming, just warm, tender, and real. That warmth is you, your essence, your resilience, your compassion. Let it spread gently, like ink in water, reaching your shoulders, your arms, your hands, down through your torso, into your legs and feet. Let it reach every corner of your being. In this stillness, you might begin to hear your inner voice, not the loud, critical one, but the true one, the kind one, the voice that knows you are worthy of rest, worthy of love, worthy of peace. Let that voice speak now, if it wishes. Perhaps it says, you're doing your best, or it's okay to pause. Maybe it says nothing at all, just a feeling and knowing. Let it be what it is, no pressure, just presence. You are not broken, you are not behind, you are not a burden, you are human, wonderfully, imperfectly, beautifully human. And in this moment, you are deeply, completely okay. Notice how your body feels now. Has it grown heavier, lighter, maybe both at once? Maybe it feels like it's floating, even as it rests. Or maybe it feels so grounded it's as if you are part of the earth. There is no right way to experience this, only your way. And that is more than enough. Breathe again. Feel the breath not just in your lungs, but in your whole being. The breath has a pulse, a rhythm, a song that your body hums quietly beneath the silence. Life is now, in the breath, in the stillness, in the space between words. And if your mind begins to wander, that's perfectly natural. That's what minds do. Notice it with kindness. Imagine your thoughts like birds passing across a wide sky. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to cull them. Let them go. Return gently to the sky. Return to the breath. You are practicing something sacred here. Trust. Trust in your body's wisdom. Trust in rest. Trust in your ability to let go. This kind of surrender takes courage. It is not weakness. It is grace. Now, imagine yourself surrounded by a soft light. It may be golden or blue or whatever color feels right. This light is not outside of you. It is you. It wraps you gently. It protects you. It soothes every muscle, every cell. You are safe in this light. You are safe in this rest. Let the quiet deepen now. Let the space between thoughts stretch wider. Let yourself drift, not away from yourself, but closer, closer to your center. Closer to the core of who you are when all else falls away. And at that core is peace. Not the peace that requires perfection or stillness on the outside, but the kind that exists within quietly always, even in chaos, even in grief, even in the dark. That peace is you. You are not chasing calm. You are remembering it. You are not chasing healing. You are allowing it. You are not chasing love. You are resting in it. So breathe now, not to change anything, but to remember you are alive. You are here. And in this breath, all is well. You may remain in this space as long as you like. Let the stillness stretch. Let it hold you like a lullaby, like a soft tide at night. There is no place more important than this. There is no task more urgent than this. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on time. For this moment, for this breath, for this rest. When you do return to the world beyond this moment, may you carry the stillness with you. May it move with you like a quiet current. May it anchor you when things feel shaky. May it remind you that peace is not a destination, it is a return. And now, if you are ready, begin to deepen your breath just slightly. Let your fingers move, your toes. Invite small motion back into your body if it feels right, or stay still if stillness is what you need. There is no right way to emerge, only your way. Trust it. With one final breath in, gather all the calm, all the warmth, all the kindness you felt tonight. And with the breath out, release it gently into the world. Like a whisper, like a gift. You are enough, you are held, you are loved. Of course, continuing gently from where we left off, there's something beautifully quiet about the moments that follow deep rest. They hum with a soft kind of power. A reminder that clarity often comes not from thinking harder, but from being still. When we allow space for silence, something sacred emerges. It's not loud or insistent. It's subtle, gentle, like the first morning light brushing across a windowsill. And yet, it changes everything. That stillness you just experienced, it isn't separate from you. It's not a place you visited. It's something you carry within you at all times. It's always there, waiting behind the noise, beneath the worry, underneath the urgency. And you can return to it again and again, like a well you draw from, like an old friend you trust. And the more often you return, the easier it becomes to find, one breath at a time, one quiet moment at a time. The world outside will still ask things of you. It will still have its noise, its speed, its demands. But something inside you has shifted, even just slightly. There's a softness where there was once tension. There's a steadiness where there may have been restlessness. There's a knowing now, deep in your bones, you can meet the world without losing yourself in it. This is the strength of rest. This is the wisdom of stillness. And it stays with you. Not because you hold on to it tightly, but because you've made space for it to belong. So, as you prepare to return, whether that means drifting into sleep or stepping gently into your day, know that you're not leaving this calm behind. It moves with you. It's part of you, a soft undercurrent, a quiet guide, a whisper in the background reminding you, whenever you need it, pause, breathe, come back. Because returning doesn't always mean starting over. Sometimes it just means remembering what's always been within you. The calm, the clarity, the care. You've given yourself this moment, this gift of presence. And in doing so, you've taken a powerful step, not just toward rest, but toward wholeness. So go forward gently, with kindness in your voice, with softness in your body, and with peace in your heart. You are whole, you are grounded, you are home.